and then Ian Carroll.
All right, we're going live. We're live now. We're live.
You know, with the elite essentially, and then
All right, we're live now. By the way, we're live now.
yeah. Nick Fuentes is saying that everyone's like conspiracy theorists all of a sudden. So it's interesting, and that Candace Owens is like gaslighting people. And then Ian Carroll was like, "I got questions for you, bub." So it's like, what the fuck? There's definitely this dialectic going on.
Right. Like what's weird about this video is that this dude been following Nick Fuentes or whatever, right? So he's built his thing off of Nick Fuentes and his organization. So he also wants to distance himself from like Groypers or whatever by having the Christian nationalism thing. So the Christian nationalism label is way more legitimate than white nationalism. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's why they wanted to infiltrate it.
Right. So that's what I think he's doing. He's trying to set up a debate between him and Nick Fuentes by positively reviewing how he both agrees and disagrees with Fuentes on the Zionist show or whatever with the Piers Morgan guy who's total like whatever British spy or whatever.
Yeah, because see, a lot of white nationalism is actually Jewish now. It's really fucked.
Right.
And it's actually meant to destroy the cause completely, because it was gaining too much power. That's actually what the Order of Nine Angles originally was. In fact, believe it or not, it was 3 covens in Britain that were anti-establishment, anti-New World Order, and they were infiltrated by what's known as the Five Eyes, all these intelligence agencies, and that's actually what happened. And you had groups like the Temple of Blood and all this other shit, and they were basically using some of their material and their symbolism, but that's it. Other than that, there's no relation at all, because you're talking about a group that has no hierarchy and has no actual order or central authority. And so, it's like if I go and I, murder a bunch of people, right? And then I just throw down a bunch of symbols. If I throw down a Quran, right? Now all of a sudden I'm an Islamic extremist. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what they're doing. And then claiming they're satanic. But you can read their own words. They say it's a form that they use. They claim to be the only Satanists. They say that people like the Temple of Set and um uh, the Church of Satan or whatever. They're not real Satanists, and that other occultists they're not really in touch with the true depth of Satan, and that they legitimately acknowledge evil and darkness and all this shit, and they're the only true Satanists who basically aren't afraid to go all the way. But then in the next sentence, they say that it's only a form that they use to be disregarded, later on. So 1 minute they're saying they're the only true ones, and the next minute they're saying, well, they're not really that at all. And so it's just like, oh, okay, right, sure, right on. I'm not exactly a fan of the Church of Satan or any of that either, but like it's just it's totally hypocritical. The Order of Nine Angles was actually more akin to paganism than it was actually Satanism. They just used like a dark pagan, what's known as pre-cosmic instead of anti-cosmic philosophy. But these groups like 764 and Cult and No Lives Matter, Temple of Blood, all that, these are accelerationist groups. And the O9A was accelerationist, but it was accelerationist in the sense of actually being uh, a a nexion, which is like a portal that worked against the system, that worked against what the hell is being created on the earth. So basically, they're a bunch of people like us that got tired of watching the world burn and decided that they were going to do something proactively. And that made it dangerous. And so that's what happened. And so, yeah, I have like a 2.5 hour documentary on exactly what happened with that. But the Order of Nine Angles, as of 2011, no longer exists. It was completely infiltrated, and then they have all these other subgroups. So now all of a sudden you have, the FBI investigating 764, and they're like, Order of Nine Angles associated group. It's like, no, it's not true at all.
Well, truth is just a feel. Truth is just a feeling, according to some people.
Right? No, it's not. um, it's not. You just have objective truth and subjective truth. That's all. There's a difference. Michael Aquino got into the objective universe and the subjective universe. I'm not going to get into that, but as well, and that kind of connects into into that whole topic. But no, there is objective truth that is unshakable. But subjective truth is dynamic. It's not, and this is like what I was getting into yesterday about like what Robert Anton Wilson was talking about. Which is like a total agnosticism. That all things can be true sometimes, but not always. And even that is not always true, So it was just this very fluid way of looking at things. I took some of that for myself. Doesn't mean I fully align with it, but I got what he was saying. The dude was smart. It was just
Well, subjective does not mean to each their own. Like what subjective means is that because God is a subject, right? So
well, people have their own subjective view of God, but that doesn't necessarily mean that God is subjective.
well, I mean, God is a subject. It's personal being.
Well, yes, I mean, yeah. So it's the interpretation is subjective, but that doesn't mean that the actual reality of God is subjective. So basically, the whole idea was that if you're familiar with Carlos Castaneda,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
okay, he had what's called the shifting of the assemblage point. This idea of what's called the shifting of the assemblage point, which is that what you experience as your reality is what you're used to experiencing. And if you can break cycles and habitual patterns in an extreme way, then you can shift your awareness to such a point that your entire reality rearranges because you've shocked your awareness to such an extent that your your reality has no choice but to rearrange because our reality is perceptual, and so that's kind of getting into what that is. And there is truth to this. This is a magical technique that few understand. And this is kind of what Michael Aquino was getting into as well. But there is objective reality as well. But then there's a shared reality that we have that everyone agrees upon. you know, and if that shared reality was changed because everyone believed something else, then it would also change. So you have the collective, what Aquino called the collective subjective universe, and the subjective universe. And you have like natural law. Natural law is not created by man, so that is objective. That is unalterable because it's not determined by man. You know, but it's just it's basically just the idea that reality is perception itself, and this is true. And you can essentially demonstrate this to yourself um, by following certain practices. You know, and so that was really what that was, is that you can shift your awareness to such a point that what you normally experience is no longer locked into any set pattern of circumstances. And the best way to do that is to completely go against everything you would normally do, anything you would normally think, anything you would normally believe, anything. And this is where belief becomes a tool, becomes a power itself. And this is where you get the idea of taking on different beliefs, not as a dogma or a religion or anything like that, but legitimately as tools, as a tool box. Will, desire, and belief become uh, you know, techniques basically for the magician, for the shaman, for however you want to slice it. It's reality mapping, because what you believe is what is reality, and the stronger you believe it, the more powerful it is. Not because it's true, but because you believe it. And so that's what that was all about. That was like the deeper understanding. It wasn't really spoken of, but when you get into like Austin Osman Spare and all that, that it fleshed out more, very cryptic. And then, so this is what like Robert Anton Wilson was hinting at, and then Austin Osman Spare went further, and then Peter J. Carroll took it even further in fleshing it out. And this ultimately goes back to shamanic practices. You have like vision quests and all this type of thing. But yeah, belief itself is power, and your will and desire in alignment with that belief can shape your reality. To put it simply, it'd be here a while. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do a stream on this particular topic because it's fascinating. It's actually a form of high magic, like how it really works, not just casting spells. Because real magic isn't changing reality. That's an ego trip. It's shifting your awareness to what is possible within your reality, creating possibilities and probabilities that would normally be almost absent completely, almost zero. Opening doors for events and encounters and opportunities that normally wouldn't be possible.
To what end?
Self-mastery.
I see.
Yeah.
But
At least
I mean,
in,
to
at
what
least
end
in,
that?
at least in high magic. I mean, if
But isn't
you're,
that a little bit selfish?
I don't think so. No. Why?
Self mastery.
Yes. To
So
know
if
yourself. To know yourself.
so, if
To
you know
better.
yourself, then what?
Well,
So you
the
figure it
better.
all out. Then what?
Well, the more you know yourself, the more you can know others, and the more you can know the divine. You put yourself through
Right. Yeah, I
trials. You
agree.
put
Yeah, I
yourself
agree.
through
Yeah.
ordeals. You put yourself through trials. You put yourself through ordeals. You put yourself through this. What I'm explaining to you is my path, in a way. Again, it's just a part of it, but it is a big part of it, actually. I use adversity in order to grow. Okay, that's what the left-hand path really is. It's putting yourself in unfamiliar situations and using adversity as alchemy, facing everything that everyone else runs away from, the shadow within the self, to use it psychologically, but it's deeper than that. But that shadow doesn't just appear inside you, it appears outside of you as well. And the magic isn't performed on someone else or out in the universe. You yourself become the current. So, for instance, if I call Lilith or Lucifer or whoever, and I do a spell, okay, I'm casting the spell on myself to open up opportunities for growth. And so I'll start meeting people that lead me to whatever it is I'm trying to attain. And there'll be traps, there'll be temptations, there'll be whatever the fuck. And I
That
have to
sounds a lot
navigate.
like what I'm doing.
Well, we're a
That's
lot
how we
more.
met, is it not?
That's correct. Well, I would make the argument that that's exactly it. That's how me and my girl met too. That's a whole other thing. You know, my girl's name in Polish translates to "she who dreams." Think about my path.
That's funny because I just saw my wife in my dream yesterday, and she's Polish. It was
Right,
fun.
right, right. But she who dreams. She didn't know anything about Sophia. And when I told her about
Wow.
the story and all that, she was like, "Whoa!" And like she actually had an experience with Sophia without knowing who the fuck she was. She was like bawling, dude. She's like, "What the fuck?" And like, people are gonna be like, "What? This is crazy." Why are you doing this? But the spirits actually gave her a dream before we met that we were going to. And this girl that I know, who actually is gone now, told me that when I broke up with my ex, not to worry about it, that Lilith and Lucifer were literally going to intervene because the girl I was with was supposed to be with me. We were on the same path, and she basically decided that she was going to go somewhere else. She was going to turn her back on it. And because of that, and because I was doing so much alchemy and I was doing what I was supposed to do, that they were legitimately going to intervene, and I was going to meet somebody. And I was going to be like, what? I was like, what? Huh? And I didn't have to look. And I was like, yo, like, I after this, I don't think I'm going to be with anybody. And sure the fuck enough, dude. Like, you know, and when we first met, we were just friends. We were just talking. Like, everything was very cordial, very professional, even. We just talked about magic and shit, you know. Because she's on the same path as me, you know. And now she's really on the same path as me because she's completely down with, you know, the myth of Sophia and all that. Um, and she's always been really close to the earth, and she had like an experience of non-duality, and I'm not gonna get into all that. But um, yeah, like the spirits literally told her before we met, and then after we met too. Like there was always communication. That's when we were like, "Oh, give us a paranormal experience that you've had if you've had it." Da, 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 da. Like I don't need to fucking explain anything to nobody, dude. Like I have had so many, but I'm not gonna sit and give like all kinds of personal, profound experiences to somebody who has no intention of actually listening, because this shit's too personal and too powerful to fucking throw before swine. Like that shit means something to me. I don't care if anyone believes it. It's too real to me. Like, I could fucking sit here for hours going on about all the experiences I've had with the divine. You know, experience I had with the Christos, what I would call the Christos, as well. Which is why I believe in Christ. I believe Jesus was a man, but I believe that Christ exists, and that Jesus became a Christ. He incarnated the Christ. You know, um, and that we all have that possibility.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. That you believe
Yeah,
that we could all attain Christhood and so on and so forth. Dude.
yeah, yeah. But not like the new age idea of like Christ consciousness like that. Like there's actual work that has to be done. It's not like, oh, we're all Christ consciousness and no, not that shit. No, there's actual work that has to be done. And it's a potentiality.
Well, didn't Jesus say you will do greater things than these,
Correct.
or something like that, right?
Yes. Yes, exactly. Jesus never said to worship him. Jesus never said to follow the religious authorities. Jesus never, you know, he actually said the exact opposite. It kind of blows my mind, you know. And like all the verses about like Satan, you know, tempting him and all that, from a Gnostic perspective, we would say that, you know, when he was alone in the wilderness, that's exactly what it was. He was alone in the wilderness. So those temptations were coming from within. That's what that actually was, from our perspective. So Satan is basically like the shadow. Do you get what I'm saying?
Not really.
Satan,
Elaborate for a second.
Satan is the shadow within man.
But isn't that all of the creation is like a shadow, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, you could say that.
Like Sophia is basically the shadow, right?
In a way, I'm saying that Satan is not some external being out there somewhere.
Well, we all have shayateen. We're assigned shayateen or whatever.
Correct. Right. Yes. And I
So
would
so it's a race of beings, or whatever.
well, we would call those the archons.
Yeah, blessings, Moontan.
Hey, bestie. Jesus Christ. You can call me Christine. Naturally exclusive. Oh, yeah. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. What? Why are you dropping all this in the chat? This is top secret. But yeah, um, we see that the temptation as something that was internal. So how can God really be tempted if you think about it?
What do you think of this? Nature versus time. I think nature is superior.
Right, right. Yeah, it is.
Because movement happens in relation to something, and that relation implies unity, not division.
Yes. Well, for us, our sense of time as we perceive it in the mundane everyday life is not real at all. It's an illusion. Time has no duration. So what I'm saying is it's not linear, it's not cyclical, it's not even eternal. It has no duration at all. It's constant. It had no beginning and it can never have an end. And the only reason we don't perceive it that way is because of the archontic intrusion has pulled us away from true nature. So we don't even perceive nature as it really is in totality. Because if we did, we would know that it was a super living organism. And nature includes the sun, the sun, moon, and earth. Actually, if you really want to be precise, outside of the sun, moon, and earth is the archon's playground, which they call the steroma. It's clockwork mechanics. It's inorganic. It's a field, a perceptual field. There's an organic foundation, but there's an archontic overlay, and that's why we can't go to Mars or wherever the fuck, because there's nowhere to go. It exists within. It's a field. It's like trying to travel through a TV screen.
Yeah, I
Can't
heard
do it.
like you gotta like fly like through the moon, or else like you'll just hit the firmament or some shit. And like I'm not sure if that's true, but I've seen like
It's
a
an
lot of rockets
enclosure.
like
It's
go
an
up to a little
enclosure.
point, right, and then they just blow up and shit.
There's a enclosure. You have like the radiation of the Van Allen belt and all this type of shit. Like you can't go past low Earth orbit. It's not possible. not physically. You can through shamanic trance
Yeah, yeah,
because
like
it's internal. It's
like
internal. It's not a space. The physical space is an illusion.
yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is that the moon might just be an opening in the sky that you can only see at night. That if you go through it, it goes to the stroma.
Mm-mm. Right? Yeah. The steroma is inorganic. The sun, moon, and earth are the only.
That's why they were only able to land on the moon, or so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying, right?
Not
They can
even.
only prove
Not even.
that they did that because it's like that's the only place where you really can go because the sky is just the moon. It's just we only see a part of the sky because of the firmament. There's just a hole in the firmament where the moon. It looks like it's shining through, and it's like the moon, but it's really just like a hole of light. I don't know. Just a theory.
Right. Right.
Just like you could go inside of the earth and there's an entire
Yes.
like thing going on inside the earth with like
Yes.
there's a sun in the earth, you know, and so on and so forth. Like
That
and there's another
that
sky inside of the earth.
that's what they don't
You
want
know what I'm
people
talking
to.
about? Like just
That's
like as above, so below. So it's like there's another sky above. If you go through the moon, you know, it just shows you just a little bit of what that looks like. Because it's like if you look at the moon, it's showing you the opening. Right?
it's all local. That's the reality. It's all local. It's a field. It's not flat or a sphere. It's a field of vision. It's legitimately the dreaming field of the aeon. It's living, plasmic, substrate, and then the steroma is inorganic, dead, lifeless. No, it's okay, bestie. 95% of people aren't going to understand anyways, so it's okay. I just thought it was funny.
So Neurojack has abandoned us completely. Yeah, all a little mad. That is a sick ass background on the vertical setup. Honestly,
That
that
is
shit
pretty
says
cool.
all a little mad on the other. Yeah, this shit is dope.
That's pretty cool.
No, I haven't abandoned. I was just like, I mean, I don't have a lot to add to what you guys are saying. I mean, last time I tried to cross-examine, it derailed the show, so I'm trying not to derail the show this early on. So I'll save my arguments about that stuff for another time because we're gonna cover some stuff now.
Yeah, let's pop that shit up. Let's do it.
Sit
Let's
down
fucking
and
review
take
this shit.
notes. There's a when the mirror wanna smoke.
Yeah, it's a sick line.
Right,
Yeah, that's from Dead Wrong. Yeah, exactly.
right.
Yeah, it's classic. Relax and take notes as I take totes of this marijuana smoke. All right. What? Oh, I gotta go to the screen to play it. I thought I could just play this shit. All right, here we go. I'm like, it won't let me click on it.
That there are many parts of crime in America where actually there's a majority of white people that perpetrate them, you don't care. You don't have any interest in that. It doesn't exercise your mind. Maybe because you don't. See, no one's buying this. This argument lost. No one is buying this. Everybody.
White people.
Seek hell.
They're committing crimes, bro. The whites.
I can conclusively prove that he was not a Rothschild agent.
Who?
I'm biding my time.
Which one?
Mustache Man.
Oh, Mustachio?
Yeah, I can prove that he was not a Rothschild agent.
I call him Mustachio Stevens.
That works.
It's a good one from now on. But yeah, so I mean, he's trying to be baby Hitler or whatever. It's gay as fuck. It's gay as fuck. Like, everybody knows you're a gay homosexual. Like,
yeah, he's inauthentic. Well, he says that sex is gay. Like, all sex is gay.
That's the creepy part here, is that this dude sits up. He starts saying, like, women prefer to be like graped. Like, by 60%, they prefer grape. And I was like, what? I was like, that is that's hardcore, like, gay Nazism or whatever.
Right.
I understand it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Bestie. He couldn't even stand in his shadow. Exactly.
Yeah, and then you got Android Blunderson. The literal,
yeah,
man, what to say? Like, this dude is literally like, he's hillbilly chic, like Christian furniture. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Have you ever read how Hitler spoke to and about women? Yeah.
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 This guy's a gas station Matt Walsh, as our friend Pinoid said, or something like that. All right. But yeah, dude, basically, it's basically true. It's basically true.
Ex-friend, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, what? What happened between you and Pinoid, man?
Dude, he started some dumb shit with me.
What?
Like, he lets these fucking retards around him. I guess.
I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Like, start a fucking cult or whatever the fuck.
They
all fucking jumped on me, and I'm just like, dude, like, you're gonna fucking like defend these retards? Like, what the fuck?
Well, they might be his homies. You never know, man.
Yeah, well, you judge by those you surround yourself by, and he's sitting there defending them, and I'm just like, bro, like, I don't have fucking time for this shit.
Yeah, but I wouldn't take it too personally, because you never know what they were getting into before you came into the convo. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, just try him out another day. I mean, like, usually when I'm in his Discord, I'm just silent for a long ass time, because, like, I really don't want to intrude or step on what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very cautious to, like, say anything. But yeah, because I don't want to get banned. Because they'll just straight up ban you or whatever. So
but we were talking privately, and he's like, come on over here.
But the Discord is never private. And so if he move you into a public space, I mean, that's different.
Well, I don't give a fuck. The point is, I'm not gonna fucking take that shit. And
he's chilling. I think he likes you a lot. I'm just saying. But yeah.
Well, you know, I don't know, man. I don't have.
He kind of fucks with everybody. Like, we kind of got into it too yesterday about the Jays or whatever. Like, we were like, oh, well, do the Jays run shit? Do they not run shit? Like, it just became the whole thing. It's a loop, admittedly, but, you know, I don't know.
No, not at all. Not at all. Right? Yeah, no, it's the Anglos, right? That's what he fucking says. Jesus Christ. Right. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, sure. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's black nobility, but they're not even Anglos. You should fucking research, like, and they're married in with Jays, or say the Jays married in with them. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll be right back in like 5 minutes or whatever. But yeah, hold down
like
the forecast.
The more research you do, the less European they become. They're like Turkish and like from fucking the actual real ruling elite come from the East, not the West. I'm sorry to burst everyone's fucking bubble. That's a fact. They go back to like Babylon and Persia and shit. Like Orsini and Farnese and Elda Brandini and all that. These motherfuckers, they're all like Persian, Babylonian bloodlines.
Yeah, someone put this in Machine's thing and add everyone or something if you guys want, because this should be a good review of shit. What do you mean about East, man? What you trying to say? Like you from the East Side or what?
I am East Side, homie. I'm on East Coast.
That sounds like schizophrenia to me. Welcome, Super Kent. Who is you be?
All right, I'm about to play some more of this shit. Yeah, welcome to.
Let's see what the alleged.
Bro, where the fuck did SpongeBob come from all of a sudden? Like, how the fuck did this happen?
So just want to come visit there.
Dude, you ever notice that SpongeBob is like the seven deadly sins?
Uh-oh.
Did you ever notice that? I mean, especially as a Christian. Like, it's legitimately the seven deadly sins, bro.
How so?
Really? Think about it, man. Think about it, man. And they're all like nuclear accidents. Because, like, Bikini Atoll, which is what it's based off of, was like nuked. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was like an island in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about. Bikini Atoll. It's where they dropped the nuke.
You're right. Yeah. And there was these like weird fucking mutations and shit. And then like the whole idea of Bikini Bottom is like innuendo. Like weird innuendo.
So it's
With
like a
Right.
woman,
SpongeBob.
like a woman's bottom, but at the bottom of
Right.
Bikini Bottom.
Well, I mean, why do you think he's so happy to be there? But then like Patrick and him are like fucking like fruity for each other. You know, it was kind of weird.
Sounds legit.
Because like
Too legit
Sandy,
to quit.
because like him and Sandy are like friends and shit, and she's always like trying to get close to him, but he's always
Well,
just
how
like,
did a squirrel get in
"Where's
someone's bikini bottom?
Where's Patrick?" You know. Uh, well, you know, everyone has their preferences, man.
Well, I bet you
It's
would support. I bet you would support a squirrel in a bikini bottom. All right, let's continue with this
you know, like
LARP.
look, dude, I'm just saying that Squidward is the only one who's fucking sane. It's
Uh,
fucked. Squidward just wants to live in peace.
Well, that's definitely a weird interpretation. I wasn't expecting that one.
Oh, it goes much
Yeah.
deeper.
Next, you're gonna tell me SpongeBob's a Luciferian.
I mean, yeah, dude. Didn't you see the episode with the Great Lodge, and they have like the all-seeing eye and shit?
Yeah, they did have some shit like that, didn't they?
They try to bring Squidward into it.
Someone send me a sad trombone sound effect immediately.
Dude, SpongeBob is bass, man. But only the original episodes from when I was like 12, 13 years old. I don't know what the fuck happened after, but like the first like couple seasons is tripped the fuck out.
See, that's what happens when you turn 33. You automatically start saying, "Well, back in my day."
Right, exactly. Back in my day, like 20 years ago.
What you see now, or what happened is
That shit's been around that long now. Damn, dude. That's crazy. I think it's still going. That's wild. Cartoons were way different when back in my day. No, they really were. Like, it's just absolute trash now. Has been for a long time, though, to be fair.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna play this shit. I forget what point they just made. Oh yeah, black people are killing people. White people are killing people. Yeah.
Per capita, and people can even see what you race ahead and say, well, we're comparing the proportion of white and black school shooters. I said, no, compare the proportion of school shooters that are white versus violent criminals that are black. Because
all right, I'm going to skip ahead here.
All right, here we go. This dumb shit again.
There's no argument. There was a section of this that I did find.
No argument for what? Like
This
he just
is
wants
dumb
to.
shit.
He wants to narrowly avoid the race politics shit. The reason is because he's like trying not to get canceled. It's pretty clear. So it's like Shilson. You know, he's like, oh, let's not. He's like, let's skip the race argument. And by the way, I'm not going to tell you what side I take. All right, let's just ignore that part. Sweep that one under the rug.
Particularly,
he refused to take a position because he's a Christian and he believes blacks and whites and Mexicans can live in harmony in Christian utopia, which is ridiculous. It's literally a trash ideology.
Interesting, which was on the topic. I think it's near the end here where they begin to discuss the various ideas that because Pierce begins to attack Nick for his family situation.
That are white. Where's the arrow pointing? Where are we going to be?
You have no idea what the answer is, and you haven't got to answer.
And this is crazy because, like, doesn't he want to go on Piers Morgan again? Right? He's saying like he's you know, waging personal attacks or whatever. I don't think that's gonna go over like very well. You know, with the dude who hired him to like go on the show, unless he paid Piers Morgan to appear on his show.
That's possible.
Because Piers Morgan was accepting upwards of thousands of dollars for people to appear just to make a name for themselves because his show was struggling. He wasn't able to get guests on his Piers Morgan Uncensored. So there's stories about that.
Yeah,
so I speculate that Andrew Wilson's audience ponied up the money to maybe like, or maybe Wilson himself had the funds to go get himself onto Piers Morgan. And so what I think this is a ploy to debate Nick Fuentes. You know, so he could cement his role as the leader of Christian nationalism, replacing the ideology of Nick Fuentes. So he wants to lead the alternative right, even though he's got his ideology is not radical enough.
Yeah,
Right.
this is
So it's
where
like,
it would be really funny for someone like Giorgiani to come in and just like crash the whole thing. I
right.
think it would be fucking hilarious.
Well, it's funny you say that because Giorgiani did just get.
What happened?
My bad, I hit the wrong button. Go ahead.
So
Yeah,
yeah, no. Dude just got on Kurt Metzger, Giorgiani. So it's like, so he is making a move. Giorgiani's also
right.
making a move. Yeah.
Well, this is why I have a theory that Giorgiani is a diabolist. He said it many, many times, you know, and I don't know if people like actually take that into consideration what he's actually saying. And so I read between the lines, the devil's in the details, as he always says, you know. So not all of Giorgiani, what he says is to be taken literally. I think he's like he's a chaos agent. But I don't necessarily think that's all malicious. I just think he's an interesting character. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he's one of them. If he is, then fuck him. But I think it's a little deeper than that.
Ew.
Whoops.
But are you actually attracted to women?
Here we go.
No,
Just quoting you back yourself again.
No,
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 that's
but
dead.
you're extrapolating and saying, well, you say women are annoying or is to get married all the time.
There we
I
go.
tell
About henpecked husbands. Just take a look.
that's true. Guys get to a certain age and they're like, you know what? Women suck. Like,
Yeah, there's just no argument. I can't do much of a breakdown because there's just no arguments. It's just Fuentes is espousing what his viewpoints are, and Morgan's just being outraged. But
You hear that, folks? He's got no opinion on what he's saying. Like,
Right.
what? Like, marriage is a sacrament in the Christian ideology, but he's got no opinion on what he's saying here.
Yeah, but
it's
he's
clown shit.
Ziono Christian, so you know,
Right. Right. He
this is,
supports Trump, the Zion Down, and whatnot.
I think here they do actually have some positions. So let's take a look here.
like they're talking too much. They're not hot anymore. Like you're fat, you're chubby, you're not as hot as you think you are. You fucking talk too much. You're a bitch.
So we'll obviously
Right.
get to the brazen misogyny part of that a little later.
I don't know. I sometimes like chubbier girls more than like skinny girls. Like for sure, they're sometimes prettier. At least to me. I mean, you know, it is
Damn
what it
right.
is.
I like them chubby cheeks when they keep me warm at night. Fuck all them pencil bitches.
Exactly.
brother man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like,
Speak your truth, man.
yeah, I don't really get down like with like all skinny girls all the time. Like I like girls that have figure and shit. Like, you know what I
I've
mean?
dated both, man. I've dated both, man.
Yeah.
So
So his characterization of women is like he likes that sort of fake women that appear in the magazines, which is kind
right.
of gay. Honestly, it is kind of
That
gay.
is, yeah. Yeah, some of them are probably trans.
Right.
If Rocky was here, he would.
Right. Well, that goes to another point. I think he was caught with Alex Jones with the T
Yeah.
TP, and I don't mean turning point.
Right.
But I'm just curious. On the one hand, there's this terrible genocide going on of white people. On the other hand, you want people effectively to stop going near women because they all turn out to be so ghastly. So they shouldn't presumably procreate. So how does that work? I mean, aren't you with your rhetoric actively encouraging men not to associate with these ghastly women, therefore not have any more children? Therefore, you are contributing, Nick Fuentes, to the diminishing white population. I'm confused.
I tell my followers to get married all the time. I tell them that it's best for.
Well, he's He's half Mexican or whatever. So I mean,
Right.
it bears repeating that he's not even completely white, and so it's obviously a LARP, right? Because he's not having babies, he's not procreating, he's not spreading whiteness or whatever.
Thank God.
And then whenever he wants, he could befriend somebody like Candace Owens, somebody like Laura Loomer, to
Right.
give a milquetoast message, right, that's acceptable to all races. All right, so it's like, what? You know, it does what it does. Right? He does what it does. Total fake actor.
Everybody to get married, and I think that's the only way that you can have sex. I think that's the only licit way as a Catholic, as you know, to have sex is within marriage.
What does that have to do with anything? Why don't you get married then? What does that have to do with anything?
Because it's a sacrament from God. What do you mean? What does it have to do with anything? If you're a public representative of people and you don't have a family and a wife, what kind of representative are you really if you've never taken care of a child?
Right.
Like, this is obvious to me or most people. And some guy who lives alone shouldn't be telling other people how to live. People who have families, like, what? It's obvious, dude. Like, what? It's an obvious point. A point that Wilson will gladly make any day of the week, but not when he's defending Nick Fuentes as a fake cuckable clown. Cuxable clown. Like, what a joke.
Yeah.
And look at the masonry shit with the hands. Look at what he's doing.
Right.
Boom. He's doing the fucking mudra shit, bro. Fuck out of here.
They're all Masons.
Yeah, like, yeah, you could have put your hands like 20 different ways, but you did it that way.
I mean, let's be honest. This material really is for people who are dumb enough to still live in that false reality that, you know, all this is normal. So, you know, majority of people who probably watch this stuff already, you know, think that this is probably a real conversation to begin with. So,
Right. And
but
this
no,
dude
you're
pretended.
right. You're right about the hand thing, though. I was going to say that as soon as you did. Yeah, he threw up the little.
Right when he said he's a Catholic. It's interesting.
Uh-oh.
That same
Yeah.
stroke. And he's like, I'm a Catholic, and here's my hand symbols. That proves I'm a Catholic.
Right, with all that Christmas background. Yeah.
Right. It's the Star of Jesus.
Because he probably hasn't met the right chick. I mean, who the fuck knows? What does that have?
What?
Right.
It's like his romantic, like, travails.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what?
Yeah. Yeah, he just hasn't met the right woman yet. The right one for him.
Give him a
Girl of
break.
his dreams.
He's looking for his soulmate. Don't you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he's just fucking guys in the meantime. It's okay. The Lord is patient. Like, what the fuck, dude?
That was a good one.
You know, like, the Lord is patient. You just let him get some of his ass first. You know, he's just learning. He's only in his 40s. Like, you know, like, what the fuck, man? What kind of shit is that?
Hell no.
Do anything. Why?
Look, what we're trying to say is women are gay, men are gay. So what he really needs is a trans girl. So it's okay.
Right. Just like
Love is love.
Let's cut to the chase.
Love is love. Love is love.
Yeah, let's just come out with it.
What's so bothersome about this is, like, it's just all switching gears every single time they come to a point or come to a head. It's like, well, how come you're not getting married then? How come you're not getting married then? How come? Well, maybe the guy doesn't want to get fucking married. My understanding from the Nick view is that he says, and again, I'm going to try not to straw man. I'm going to try to make sure I get the view correct. My understanding of the view that he has is that, for one thing, marriage is not for everybody.
Bullshit, dude. Like, we're trying to repopulate the country. Like, you could be gone tomorrow. Like, you have so much time to go jizz in somebody. Like, what, dude? Like, that's bullshit. That's clearly bullshit. Like, you got to go jizzing somebody as quick as possible. You are not promised tomorrow. You got to go for the gold here. Like, this is so stupid. Like, what, dude? Like, no, you need to jizz in people as fast as possible, according to your own arguments, sir. That's retarded. No, you don't have time to wait around.
This is the 11th hour.
Yeah, this is
This
it.
is the final inning.
Fucking showtime. Like, go. Like, repopulate. You know.
And he says that for him,
especially if he's a top debater and stuff. I mean, this is the thing. Is like, if he's the guy that you want to lead the country, or he's got good points, then he should be the top person with a family.
Right. He should be out there saying, "Go forth and jizz some more."
Right. But it's like he's trying to say, no, not today. I'm not trying to jizz in anybody today. Like, it's like, what? Dude, you only have so much time on this fucking earth. Like, allotted. Like, to you. Like,
it may not be for him, and that also he needs to be able to focus on what it is that he's doing with his career without the distraction of having to protect a family and the security of a family, which is what he thinks that'll end up inevitably becoming a liability, meaning that people will try to threaten, blackmail, and harass him through his immediate family. Chances are good that he's correct about that, by the way. But I don't think I recall him saying that he's anti-marriage by any.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to illustrate the point. You know what I'm saying?
Gay.
Like, yeah, like the thing is, they don't want
marriage.
They don't want to make love. They don't care about making love, because the thing is this dude said that he will get artificial wombs to repopulate if he needs to. He said they don't need women to repopulate. This is a real talking point that Andrew Wilson has made. So they have claimed that they don't need women at all to accomplish this. So they're literally sick technocrats that want like test tube babies to be born that are literally depraved, that are like lone wolf T-bombers.
Yeah,
like,
they completely support technique. They're quantified for sure. 100%.
Oh, what's wrong? You don't want it to be like Dune, and have a bunch of white dudes jumping off bridges and suicide bombing when they jump off? Come on.
Yeah, they want like test tube babies that are like dickless weirdos that are like running around, that are born in some fucking artificial womb. And he's openly said he doesn't need women to accomplish this. So this is a hateful rhetoric that they have against women. Yes. It's weird. They're not just claiming, oh, we live in a gynocentric utopia. They're actually saying like, women are the problem. Women are the reason that this happened. It's like, what? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Right? Because,
unless they're like primordially blaming Eve somehow, but yeah.
Which is fucking absurd.
Well, that is part of what they're doing, honestly.
People need to let go of
that's what I've always believed. When they attack the male and female persona or image or spirit, it's always leads back to Adam and Eve. So
yeah, like they don't even want the company of like women. Like they don't enjoy like female company.
Yeah,
like this is the problem. Like, they want to
really
say like,
wrong with you.
Yeah, this is like some like fun is haram type shit. It's like,
let's be real here. I mean, if these people had the mindset, it would make sense that they would be a bunch of homosexual weirdos. No offense, allegedly, to anyone.
They probably are. I love the company of women, so I couldn't live without the company of women. So I don't
know. It is flip flop. You in some places you hear this kind of talk where it's so woman hating, and then you have other talks where like women are exalted and men are pushed under, even by men. So I don't know. It's so weird.
That's dumb too. That's fucking dumb too. No, it's a balance, man. It's a fucking balance.
I agree. At least when it comes to my personal relationship, me and my wife, we personally exalt each other. It's not one or the other more than the other.
Yes.
So
yes, that's how it's supposed to be. Exactly.
Yeah, I'd say more now in response to what you guys are saying, but Neurojack is targeting me with his background, so
right. He's targeting all of us. Bro, I'm telling you, lust is the only reason
# triggered.
Lust is the only reason I incarnated on this fucking planet, dude. Because I would be like in a mountain, like meditating, like 24/7. Because there's nothing in this world I really want. Oh, see, there you go. That's it. That's it. I'm done. My soul is lost. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, like, out of all the so-called sins, man, it's the only one I really enjoy.
Yeah, what they
That's
call a
right.
sin
My
is
wife is the
sin.
only one who can take me to cloud 9. That's right.
Right? And I'll
Exactly.
tell you
Right.
what, man. I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah, this is the thing, is like you can't have camaraderie with the female. You can only have real camaraderie with men, but you can't have fun with dudes. Like there's just
Right.
like what is that? Like you have to have fun with females. Like this is the only way to have fun. Like what are you gonna do with a
Exactly.
bunch of dudes other than fight each other or fucking but like play some video games or some stupid shit? Like there's always got to be like some shit that you like argue about shit, but like really like like that's the thing, is like men can be comrades because they can like test each other. You're not gonna be tested by some fucking female. It is what it is, all right. But it's like
Maybe
but you
test
need
that fucking patience.
yeah. This is a man's world, but it's nothing without a woman. All right? This is just what it is, all right.
Yes. Yes.
Well, maybe that's what they want. They want everyone, someone like me who clings to my wife's bosom. They want me to cling to a man's ball sack.
Well, see, the ones who don't like women, I have a pretty strong hypothesis on this. The ones who don't like women are the ones who don't want to grow, because a real woman
Uh-oh.
will force you to grow. That's just keeping it a buck, okay?
I'm not
Like
gonna lie. That could
that's
play
the
a part
fucking
in it.
That's the
You hear
fucking
that? You hear that,
reality.
Jeff? You hear that, Jeff? You don't want to grow.
That's the fucking reality. A real woman will force you to grow as
That is
an
true.
individual. There's another word that triggers everybody. As an individual, okay? And so if you're resistant to that growth, then you're going to hate that woman, okay? Because women are like
Uh-oh.
forensic at knowing who the fuck you really are, not the mask.
Well, a
You know?
good woman,
And
yes.
so, well, yeah, I'm saying a good woman, right? Okay, so but they're also the muse, and so they give you the reason to grow. But they give you the ability to become stronger and to basically, you know, elevate to your highest potential. But they can also destroy you. But it's not
Oh.
them; it's because you. So they are like the ultimate test, in my experience. You know, and so I think that's why we're like, oh fuck these bitches, because they don't want to grow. That, and because they want to feel like they can control them, and they're fucking wrong. They're fucking dumb. If
Well, I can tell you something too, from personal experience. Now, I wasn't a man whore when I was younger, but when I was in relationships, I was in relationships where I loved the girl, like I wanted to build a wife and a husband relationship, and even though it wouldn't work out, like I can tell you from personal experience, like the sex with them, it started out because it was just sex, but it's not just having a kid with my wife now, but like we've been through personal things together that like I couldn't imagine going through with anyone else. So like the sex that I have with her now, it's nowhere near like what it was, back when you were, in your younger years, you did it just because it was to feel good. But I can tell you that since maturing with her, not just in sex, but in love and grace and stuff like that, that like the sex now, I can just tell you it's a lot more deep and meaningful, and
yes,
it definitely feels a lot more spiritual. Even if it's the dirtiest sex you could have in the day, it's still like
right,
you can tell that once you mature and actually you love somebody for what you love, that the image behind what they use sex to sell is a facade and not really what sex has ever been about.
correct,
And
and
pornography, I hate to admit, is one of the biggest distributors of that type of false reality, where of
yes,
it's a lot more than what you visually want to see on the porn. It's like if people
yes,
really understood how bad spiritually any type of pornography is, once you realize that the whole point, like, you know, someone like my dad, I love my dad with all my heart. And even if he had, you know, found a better woman in life, my dad, for some reason, just, some men can handle a woman and some men can't. Like, I've dated plenty of women in my life. Well, not plenty, but, you know, on a hand, I can tell you that, you know, we were both immature, but it was always usually the woman who was more immature. You know, the woman who I'm with now, she is one of the most mature people at her age that I've ever met in my life. It's not just because she's been through traumatic things and she's experienced things like, you know, I'll just put it this way. It's very far and few women who I would say, you know, like outranks women, but like, let's just put it this way. If you were to put my wife on panel most of the time, you probably wouldn't like what she had to say, because she's not like most women. She's like me in a lot of ways, where she speaks her fucking mind, you know?
Right.
But like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is a majority of the women who, even if they're outside of my league, which, you know, I might not be the most handsomest person now, but I can tell you when I was younger, older women had an obsession with me, and so did younger. I'd be, you know, 17, about to get out of high school, and I have more freshmen hitting on me than I do the fucking seniors. To me, it made no sense. But then I go to the library, and my fucking librarian's over here wanting to rub the back of my, you know, the back of my head stuff. So, you know, again, like, women are always different, but there is something strange, and it could be the OnlyFans culture. But from what I have asked of women, a majority of women do not like the porn that most men like.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying all women like the whole lovey-dovey, throw flowers on the bed type of sex.
No,
but
they
like,
don't.
you know, my wife has a balance of both. Like, she likes it, you know,
Yes.
nice and romantic, and then other times, you know, free willy. But
most women do. Yes.
most women do, but even most women have a false, what is a dichotomy or whatever? I don't know. I don't know what word to use, but they have a false sense of what sex or love is supposed to be. Most women think that just throwing off their pants and laying down and taking it means that, oh, this man loves you, whether or not you're getting paid for it or not. Like, no, like, you know, a man loves you when he takes his time with you and he's actually putting effort to make sure he's not the only one busting a cap. So, you know,
that would be a long conversation, but yes, I know exactly what you mean.
I think with the tranny stuff, not just so that way people could cut off their PPs and try to become a man, and, you know, you're a birthing person now, you know, at the level at which stuff has been slowly, which, I mean, they were putting the whole baby thing, what, maybe 10 or so more years ago, when they started. I mean, they put it right in Resident Evil and other stuff that they were sitting here and creating babies from vats, like with that, what is it, that fucking thing with fucking Daryl. He played in that video game or whatever, Death Stranding or whatever, with the little baby inside the fucking the test tube. Like, I mean, if this technology is already here, if it's like in Guardians of the Galaxy, and if they're able to already take the embryos of women and take the sperm of a man and can sit here and microscopically, you know, create life, you know, and through gene manipulation and editing are able to sit here and, you know, do you want your child to have blonde hair, blue eyes? You know, do you want him to have a, you know, an 8-inch penis or something? You know, like the things that they sit here and claim that they can do. I mean, what does that say for the rest of humanity? I mean, they're obviously doing genetics and manipulation to get people to stop reproducing. But I mean, in all honesty, if they really didn't want people to just reproduce, I mean, wouldn't it have been a lot easier than just like slowly devolving us over time? You know, if they really wanted people to just, you know, I guess my point is like, people are saying about the conspiratorial stuff, like, if they had the power to do all this, like, why not just do it? Why did they have to? It seems like they need our permission. It always comes back to this karmic bullshit of like, they need our permission in order to be able to do it. Like, they can't just drop a bunch of,
human bat hybrids in the middle of the street and say, oh, here it is, because, oh, we won't accept it or the world will go crazy. I mean, they can just allegedly go hide in their bunkers. So, I don't see the point of telling a bunch of men to be gay, or, if these guys were really gay, what does it matter? But I don't know. It seems like a bunch of LARPing and controlling, and I'm just not really getting the reason behind it, unless it really is a spiritual battle for every single human soul, and every single soul that they can get to participate in the darker side of things. It's like a win for them, I guess. I don't know. Just strange that a lot of the things that I consider sacred or upright or moral, it's only held by very few people. And, it's strange. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep going, but. Weird gay shit.
Yeah, shit's weird, bro. But yeah, Moin. I don't know. MOIN. I mean, I just typed that into Google. And here, hold on. Let me see this. Moin, because somebody typed Moin in my chat. So I'm like, what is Moin? MOIN. It says Moin is a common way of saying hello or goodbye in northern Germany, Denmark, the Netherlands, and Poland. It may come from Morgen, MORGEN, morning, or muy, or MOOI, beautiful. I don't know. I could be, maybe they were trying to type that. I don't know. But I could just be wrong. They could just do some type of typo or some shit. It could just be a typo.
The imagination.
You get married.
I'll get married later. It's been difficult for me because people are shooting at me at my house. I don't know that I don't want to have kids and a wife. My wife would be screaming about that. Me, I have to be able to take risks and be able to say these things. It's difficult to bring a family into a life that's like that. But for my followers, I tell them.
It is. And look, I'll speak from experience on this. It is extremely difficult to be a high profile political commentator and a political debater, right? And I'm not anywhere near the same level as a guy like Fuentes is, right? He's been around for years longer than me and building a following for years longer. And it's extremely difficult. Your family is mercilessly used against you, even for things which are completely normal within family dynamics. It's just ruthlessly used against you for the purpose of not just the ideas of blackmail, but the idea here is like, if we can't get you, we'll get them in order to get you. Again, the ends justify the means. I know this from experience.
Yeah, but this is the thing, that on the clip, that we have, right? Wilson is apologizing to Fuentes for claiming that he raided his house. So he used to claim, at least, that Fuentes uses the same tactics, right? And then his people went against big tech and all this stuff and started stalking him, right? So this was a claim that's been made by each of the parties, right? That that Fuentes and these people, that Ethan Ralph and the Kill Stream, that they all made lies up about him, right? So they were in with the Grapers, and then he apologized to them. So, I mean, how are these people not using the same exact tactics that he's saying are used against them? So they're playing the game. They're fully playing the game. Just like when they were attacking Owen Benjamin and they kept bringing up his family and his dad and stuff. So, I mean, they play the same game. They are involved in the same tactics, talking about people's personal lives and stuff. Like, this is their, politics on their online sphere or whatever. And so he's done it to people like Fuentes, claiming that he's, responsible for raiding his house. Because he, went against America first or whatever. So these are claims that have been made by Wilson. And just let you all know, this is crazy stuff. But he's now saying, oh, poor Fuentes, poor everyone, that all these tactics are being used against them. And it's like, It's like there's people that like nobody I know online hasn't been attacked in that way. Even from the smallest person to the largest person. So I don't know.
What they try to do to demoralize your family, they go after your children, they'll do whatever they need to do to get you. So I completely understand this position. It makes a lot of sense to me from experience. I know that this is indeed the case.
To get married. But what's happening with women?
You literally just told your followers, hang on, in that clip, you literally told followers, women, they get old, they get fat, they get ugly, they get very annoying. So where's the incentive to get married to women? There isn't one. You're actively telling them the opposite.
Well, I mean, men do too. Right? Get old, we get fat, we get ugly too.
That's right. He actually offered, and this is by their former tweets or whatever, like they were part of the Groypers, and they then offered up their daughter to like get arranged married to Groyper, and then that information was used against them. So it's like they do this stuff to themselves. You know, they put their own family stuff out there, say this is our personal issues. We have a daughter who's marriage material for a Groyper. And, you know, when they get slandered because they did that, right, which is at that point, it's not slander. It's just pointing out what they did. Right. And who does that anyways? All right. It's totally weird and creepy. No, but, you know, and this is like them promoting the marriage angle. So it's really weird now that he's retracting all that and saying, well, it's Nick Fuentes' personal business because he's an online influencer when he wants to get married, even though he recommends that all men below a certain age should get married. You know, like I think it's like, you know, I don't know what age they say, but I know definitely they're saying that men should get married as soon as possible. Right, and so should women. Right, and for that they recommend Christian dating. So I've heard them say this stuff. So, and if you analyze their opinions, this is what they promote. They promote Christian dating for the purposes of procreation, right, and proliferating marriage, right, and they also support Christian communities that would act as a guardrail for those relationships instead of relying on the state and the divorce laws and such and such. Right, so this is their position. It's part and parcel of their position that they're now retracting when they're talking about this dude. Or when it applies to their personal life. So this is the thing, is like, usually back in the day, people who made statements conclusively in support of one thing or another, usually their personal details of their life would bear out that position. You know, like they'd be like married, you know, all that type of stuff, right? So this is just obvious. You know, nobody's going to critique anybody for, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, I mean, every politician, every public figure gets critiqued in that way. And one might argue that they should, because they passed the test of public scrutiny that shows that they could, you know, take accountability for their own actions.
Though I have noticed now that while there is tons of obese women, there's at least a trend of women attempting to look better in their 30s and 40s, which I'm very appreciative for. But yeah, I mean, I understand. I've understood the criticisms on his side. I have hold many of the similar criticisms to women, who, especially ones who are inside the political space. Typically in the politics concerning race, I see a lot of descriptors like 13, but not a lot of prescriptions of what should be done about this, wondering when that conversation will take place. Yeah, well, the thing is that this comes up often, and on the ethno-nationalist side, it's a hard thing to contend with. It really is. And so when they go up against progressives on that stance, they have a much more difficult time. But Morgan didn't really take him to task on any of his views here, or even attempt to. He just kind of did the moral outrage thing the entire time. And I don't think
That's right. Sweep the race question under the rug. It's just an elephant in the room at this point. He's being verbally in support of Fuentes, but sweeping the race question under the rug. It's just crazy stuff. It's a unique move that he's pulling off here, and it's because he doesn't want to get billed as a race critic, even though he is taking a stance by supporting Fuentes. It's really sly shit.
that does anything for him ultimately. I don't think that hurts Nick's positions at all. I think the way that you would have to do it would be to actually attack the positions. But the guy's also a meticulously detailed and very skillful debater. And so maybe that was why he avoided that.
See, he's not saying if Nick Fuentes is right or wrong. He's just saying he can skillfully argue for positions of ethno-nationalism. So he's being very careful how he words his support for Fuentes at this point. Right? Trying to totally sweep, like I said, again, the race question under the rug. Doesn't exist, right? The questions or problems they're talking about don't exist. Why? Because talking about them will get you deplatformed. That's why they don't exist. Piers Morgan is allowed to have other feds like Nick Fuentes on to talk about it. But generally, if you talk about them on YouTube, you won't be able to monetize your shit. Just like Nick Fuentes wasn't able to. So he's allowed on all these large platforms like Piers Morgan, but he's the most canceled man ever. Oh, my God. What a travesty. Yeah, right.
You're extrapolating a lot. We can complain.
Just quoting you back yourself again.
No, but you're extrapolating and saying, well, you say women are annoying, so therefore, what's the incentive? We have to do it in spite of the fact that they are annoying. We have to do it in spite of the fact that they talk too much. We can get them to lose weight. We can put them on peptides. We can get them to the promised land, but it's going to be.
Do you think this view of women may be why none of them want to go near you?
Well, the thing is that the guy's young. He's not a bad-looking guy, and he's fucking rich. I don't think he would have a problem getting women if he wanted to get women. I don't think he would have an issue doing that. And also, let's make a mental note here that...
Yeah, but there's lots of young people that are, they got a lot of money, but the problem is that they're fucking gay. Right? They're just not attracted. Right? So there is that other question there. Right?
Trying to attack somebody who follows the worldview of Christian ethics, whether you believe that Fuentes does this rightly or wrongly, it doesn't really matter. From his view, it is immoral to engage in sexual intercourse with a woman pre-marriage. And sticking to that ethical purview, I don't know why you would even bother trying to attack somebody for that.
Oh, you should see my DMs. It is quite the opposite. They're called the Groy bets, and I'm actually batting them away. Granted, not all of them are attractive.
Yeah, you got to get rid of them though. you got to get them out of there. Get them out of there. We've been trying for years to get these fucking women out of this chat. I just can't fucking get rid of them no matter what I do. They're so fucking. They're just exhausting. They're fucking exhausting. Just like, just go away. Just go away. No, we want to be here because like, just go fucking fly a kite. Go away.
Some of them are attractive.
Are you actually? Look, just to clear up one of the many theories about you. I have no idea what the answer is, and you haven't got to answer. But are you actually attracted to women?
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay.
No. But I will say that when
see why it is that having women in the chat is such a bad idea.
I just want to point out the complete hypocrisy, you know what I mean? Because like he's claiming that he doesn't like women in his chat, but they follow him anyways, which is kind of a humble brag and a very cringe humble brag for upwards of 40-year-old man who's married, right? Anyways, The whole idea is that he lets his wife come and debate and talk her opinion all the time. So all women are annoying except for his wife that gets to debate and gets a public platform to spew her annoying shit. Right? So
That's right.
So what a fucking complete hypocrite. Yeah, no women are allowed in his space except for his wife that knows it all about how women should treat each other and all this stuff. What a complete crock of shit. And by the way, if he's so patriarchal, what is his wife doing debating and telling people her opinion? You know what I mean? She should not be an author. She should not be an intellectual. She should not be a public intellectual at that. You know, her role should be in the kitchen as he advises her that, you know, he advises his audience online that a woman's role is in the kitchen and his wife serves his needs and all this type of stuff. But except for when she's online, right? Then she's a businesswoman. She's her own independent brand and she's selling her channel just like you are. So how do women get to be business owners and get to have their own platform and that's fine, but they're too annoying to talk to anybody. What the fuck are you talking about?
Sounds like a lot of rules for thee, but not for me.
Yeah, totally faking gay.
Yeah. Do you see? Isn't Andrew single also? What a surprise. Yes, that's right. Happily married man Andrew Wilson is also single, you fucking idiot. You fucking tard. You stupid bitch. Get the stupid bitch the fuck out of here. What a stupid fucking idiot.
Yeah, but you just said that it doesn't matter. Not all the men want to be you know, in a relationship. So what's wrong with that, Andrew? Right? I mean, it's crazy. You just said that like not a moment ago.
Not even 5 seconds of research, you fucking idiot.
Women are very difficult to be around.
That would be too hard, bro.
There's that.
And do you think they should have the right to vote?
I do not. No, absolutely not.
They should stay at home?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? For a young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes? All women.
I am.
All women are annoying. All women grow old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
You know, you know who really levies 99% of these criticisms at women? It's other women. That's the truth. Look, I've dealt with now thousands of them. Okay, in person, I've done debates, and online, I've done debates, and had discussions with and open-ended conversations with like thousands of women. Okay, and they fucking hate each other's guts. All they do is talk about how annoying women are, how much women annoy them, how fucking stupid women are. That's all they fucking do. And even the ones who are in the sisterhood, the second one of them breaks the sisterhood code, they all shark attack. They all shark attack like backstabbing knife.
It's not shark attack, man. It's because they have social intelligence. They have a more tribal nature. And I've learned to respect that because, you know, they are on edge about other women, as they should be. You know, because you just said that women are the problem. So what's wrong with women being on edge against other women? It seems retarded. You know, their tribal nature fulfills a perfect function within society because they're checking for their families, their tribe. You know, so, you know, I mean, I don't see a problem with it personally, right? But
bitches, they just fucking shark attack. And it's like,
well, on top of that, it doesn't really sound much more different than what men do either.
Right.
I mean, let's just be honest. Men don't really operate much more differently. You know, you got a brotherhood and one of them, you know, stabs you in the back, you know, we all gang up usually against the one. So I don't know. Go ahead, sir.
No, it's all good if you want to elaborate.
Well, I'm just pointing out that, like, you know, as much as what we hear the criticizing of women, like, men don't operate much more differently. Like, you know, I know plenty of men who operate more like women than men do. So, I mean,
Right, and especially these online dudes, like they do a lot of
Yes,
trauma farming.
yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, especially the online people, they act more like a group of women than most women in reality do. It's strange.
And that's the thing, is it's weird to have men in a hive mind with people that they're not embroiled with in a community. It's really weird. It's like, yeah, it is kind of like feminine because you're giving allegiance to something that's abstract and not tangible. Literally wasting your time to try to get credence for being part of a group, which is literally, as I pointed out earlier, that is what women excel at. That is their social intelligence, right? That allows them to be tribal.
And it's not even overtly political. Like if this was like if they were claiming to be overtly political, like Fuentes does, at least Fuentes is making the argument that like this is a overtly political argument. At least there's that, right? But Wilson's like, no, this is an entertainment program. So this is not about actually like doing anything in the real world. So it's even worse than Fuentes because it's like, well, he's actually not telling his people to like go and like have a political power ultimately, really at all. I mean, as far as I've seen, I mean, he says this is about philosophy and ethics or something like that, which again doesn't really make any sense. But okay, so so what I mean is like to go with the argument about being tangible. Like if they were actually trying to grab like actual political power out of this, then that would be different. I would say, right? But Andrew Wilson doesn't tell his people to go and like he just says like vote essentially. Like I've never seen him say like go be a police chief or go like infiltrate the government overtly, right? Like I've never heard him say
Right, like
say that, right? So.
Right, like vote for the next tard that the banks pick for you to vote for. Like what the fuck, dude? Like great like work. Like fucking Shilson.
Well, I mean, let's face it. I mean, though we don't really know what his true angle in all this is, I mean, a majority of these people, if they were not born into it, their entire online persona, their scripts, everything that they do is probably curated and fucking scheduled and scripted for them. So that way, like, I'm sure they allow them to have some leadway to kind of like freely say what they feel like personally, but I mean at the end of the day, they're gonna defend whoever they're probably told to defend. They're gonna attack whoever they're told to attack. And I mean, I mean, with Andrew, I mean, there's been some times, I mean, I just had a dream about the dude like a few days ago and it was strange, but there are some times where I hear Andrew talk and it's like, dude, I can really get down with what you're saying. But then there's other things that he'll go and say. And like from the viewpoint of a Christian, it's just like, where do you get this idea? Because it's so vastly different compared to what I see as what is supposed to be as a Christian. I'm just saying that, like, me personally, if I had the type of influence and social media power, half of the things that you hear most of these people say who claim to stand from at least allegedly a Christian standpoint, to me, it sounds beyond, I don't know, I guess what I see what it means to be Christian. That's why it just leads me to believe that whatever comes out of his mouth and a lot of these other people's mouths, that it's got to be 100%, I mean, it's almost as if sometimes fucking AI itself has written the script for the day. Because I mean, I don't know. I don't mean to go on. It's just strange, like I said about like to me this is filler content. That's what it's. If you even want to call it filler content, this isn't even something I'd want to eat my breakfast cereal and drink a coffee with in the morning. Because it's just like, what did we get out of this? What, not to be gay, to be gay, to have kids, to not have kids, women are fat, men are fat. Like, it's just, I guess what I'm getting is, at the end of the day, what was the entire point of the conversation that they were even having? because I didn't get nothing out of it. Like if I were a follower of Nick Fuentes or Andrew or even Piers, like I didn't get absolutely no substance out of any of this.
Right, like what's the take home message? Like Nick Fuentes doesn't want to fuck girls and he thinks they're annoying, so that he has this ideology, and on the other end, you know, it's about his personal choices that he makes that he doesn't want to do this. Okay, I could care fucking less about any of that. Like stupid as fuck.
That's why I call it filler content. It's not even really filler content. I'd rather watch like the worst fucking indie cartoon that you can imagine than I would sit here and watch this, just simply because like I don't even get anything out of it. Like I don't feel like I came out of this conversation with any knowledge, a better idea of who I should be as a white man or anything. Like it's just it's trash, dude. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is we're almost halfway through, honestly.
You know, but a man says the same thing. He's like, look, you know, they can be a fucking annoying problem and they never shut up and they're constantly backbiting and they're fucking conniving and, you know, just basically parrots the same thing that women say about each other. And he's a misogynistic evildoer. It's like, give me a fucking break with this shit. Give me a fucking break.
Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't all women grow old? Like, why is that a criticism? Why is that misogynistic to say?
Well,
women
the other
get
thing,
old?
Because you're saying that they're growing old means that they're not sexually attractive, which is retarded. Like, of course, the woman you're with is not going to look the same, you know, like 20 years later. Like that doesn't mean she's less sexually attractive, unless you're fucked up in the head or a weirdo, or you constantly lust after younger women. Like, it's totally fucking weird. Like, what's not fucking weird about that shit? It's fucking creepy and weird, man. Like, you need to get over yourself that your woman needs to be in pristine condition for the rest of her life. Like, what the fuck? What a creepy thing to say. Honestly, it's creepy. Like, this dude, Mr. Enigmatic, dude, you don't understand how creepy that is? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, imagine that's what he thinks of his own wife. That's literally disgusting.
The thing is, my wife brings this point up all the time, right? This idea that women need to maintain some high level of sexuality and sexual appeal when they're grandmothers is fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, that's true. But what this guy just said is that he's saying that women get older so they're less sexually attractive, dude. That's literally what was in the thing that he played on his show. So I don't know what part of that point you didn't get, Andrew. But now you're saying, yeah, that is the point that he was making, sir. You know, sorry if you didn't hear it, but yeah, he said yeah, they get old, but he's saying they need to be in pristine condition and stuff, or whatever. He's saying they get old, they get fat, they get annoying. So he's not saying you grow a deeper bond with somebody over time, like you should. I mean, no.
Both of us, it's crazy. You know, like my wife is going to be 46 soon. You know, I'm going to be 42 soon. She doesn't need.
That's not even that old. 46? Like, that's not that old. You know, like this dude using Just for Men to dye his hair. You know, it's crazy, man.
To maintain some mass sex appeal to the masses. I don't know. That shit is fucking disgusting and crazy to me. That there's this endless demand that you be sexy.
Right, like why aren't 46-year-old women sexy? Like, what the fuck? That's stupid as fuck. Like, you've never seen a 46-year-old sexy woman because she's a grandma? Get the fuck out of town, bro. What the fuck is this dude saying? This shit actually sounds gay as fuck. I'm sorry, this shit sounds weird. Like, what? Like, 46-year-old women aren't attractive because they might be grandmas? Huh? I don't know, man.
Girl, at it when you're almost 50.
No, absolutely not.
Wow, says the guy who's never got laid.
That's it.
Burn. Got him, Piers.
That's it.
Wow, maybe I can get on television and accuse people of if they ever gotten laid, and I can get a nice little city nighttime backdrop, and I can get paid. I mean, do you see what like from someone who watched a lot of early 90s and 2000 news coverage? Except for when you had the occasional slip ups with like the soundstage equipment or someone who is out there in the field, or like, a delay in the satellite feed, allegedly, it was always very professional, but then like you go and you watch this, like when I go on and turn on the news, I want something that captivates me, for someone who doesn't already care to watch the news anyway. When you go and you watch this, like, that sounds like I'm sitting in a room with a bunch of guys who are like mad at each other that a dude banged his girlfriend behind his back. Oh, do you ever get laid? Are you gay? Like that. It's just like, that's what you consider professional and intellectual. Then then anyone at this point should be able to become Piers Morgan, right?
Yeah, like this dude is a tabloid reporter that worked for Murdoch Media, looking up a dead girl's text messages. Right, he's an absolute scumbag. Straight up, like they didn't ask their family or nothing.
Well, of course, how much money did he make off of that? I know what you're talking about. I watched that episode or whatever. I watched all the interviews he did where he interviewed them people, whatever. But again, it comes down to the end of the day that, it comes down to the money. Any fame is fame. So, me personally, I don't think anyone should be allowed to make money off of the death whether or not they've been, executed by law or not. I don't think that anyone should be allowed to go and make a documentary or something, because there've been like what he did. He didn't even get the permission of that family. Like it all come down to money and fame. It got him into the spotlight or whatever, but that's what it comes down to. We know that these people are part of God knows what type of groups. And, they do things behind closed doors that, obviously they exploit and take advantage of, those who aren't in their group or part of the group. So, I'll just put it this way. I've never really met a person who said, I really like Piers Morgan or even really Nick Fuentes or Andrew Wilson, which is strange that unless I go online, no one's ever even heard of these people except for Piers. So, it just makes me wonder about the kind of people that they really are, who are the people that these people actually are able to influence? Is it like, Larry the Cable Guy, Terminator, let me go out here and fix my truck while listening to Nick Fuentes, or, is it someone like Andrew Wilson who works, a somewhat decent, tech job or something, who, feels like, all the Indians are taking over his fucking job or something? It's just strange. I mean, obviously they know who to pick out. They know the type of aesthetic or personality, which, I mean, for me, really, I would much prefer TML up there on television than I would, any of them three bitches. But, when it goes as far as personality, their personalities to me seem to be catered toward the worst people in society. Like, these are not people who I would say if, they came to my city, that I would want to go and, go to their function or their convention and, want to walk up to them and shake their hands, be like, I appreciate, what you taught me to do in life. Wow, you taught me to debate someone. Congratulations. Like, I don't know, dude. Bunch of fake shit. Keep going.
Yeah, it gets fucking weirder. I'm pretty sure. But the thing is that this goes on for a while. Like he's done this for a while, but I've only recorded half an hour of it. So this is just a sample of what they did last night, I guess. But his video was like you're unable to pause it So I just clicked record and just did a little bit, so I mean, this is a surprise to me that it's this bad, honestly, because obviously I wasn't watching it while I was recording it, and I'm looking at it now. This is total trash. I can't believe, I mean, this is like people gave him $2,000 for this, lightweight commentary. Holy smokes! He literally gets paid to do nothing. He's a glorified reviewer. It's sad to be in that position, honestly. Where you don't have to like actually do physical work to get paid. You're kind of like a lesser human being, honestly.
Well, I would agree, at least in the sense that if I'm not saying that they got hateful rhetoric or anything, but like I said, I try to align as much to kindness and goodness as I can, and just these kind of people just throw me off. So, they're not people. If I threw shekels at someone, because I thought that they spreaded, good ideals and messages, they're not the kind of people I would. I try my best to hold up the ideal and morals that I believe are correct and right in God's eyes as much as I can. And I tell you what, I appreciate the kindness I've gotten, but when you hear people like this, it just makes me really often think that maybe that's how badly deep we are really in serious shit, that they have to have basically, I mean, I guess if you want to call them handlers, to me they're like population handlers to me, or at least population emotion modification. Damn it, I am not thinking straight. Modifiers, there you go. Sorry, Jesus. It seems like their sole purpose is to get as many people who think or act or are like them to act and do and make certain ideas fester and rot until I guess it comes out at some point. And I'm not trying to like accuse anyone of anything nefarious. It's just I often assume that if we are living in this matrix, allegedly, that a majority of the people who are, even is someone like Wilson and Piers, is controlled and operated by someone or something. So it would make sense that, I don't know. I guess what I'm getting at is just don't trust it and don't trust anything, anything and everything that you consume of their material is and should be always constantly studied and under scrutiny. I can tell you that because, I know that it's a difficult thing to ask the world to live in harmony, and I'm not trying to pull some Luciferian fake New World Order shit on no one, but it's a hard thing when you want that type of idea, knowing that it is impossible. But I don't know. I think if enough humans actually thought in that type of way of process, maybe we could actually have a chance at maybe changing things, at least in the earthly process. So, just assume that, a majority of these people that you see on your TV screens, I'm not saying every fucking news anchor in your, news station is working for the New World Order, but, maybe the best thing for people to do is if you can completely, if people, maybe as much as if we could stop doing other things, if we could really, I mean, I guess you could say the more that we don't pay attention to politics, the more that they would get away with stuff. But then how do you change the politics? Maybe that's what the question comes down to, because we're always analyzing politics, right? Or at least something in the general genre of what politics and usually imply to. So, I mean, how do you truly be the anti Andrew Wilson club? I guess what I'm trying to understand is, like, as much as what we analyze them, how do you combat what it is that what we're assuming that they're really getting at? I mean, because like when I go and watch this, I've got nothing out of it. I mean, if they're speaking in code, I haven't really gotten anything in code if they're like, you know, gay butt buddies or something. But it makes no sense to me other than, I mean, is it really a shekel game? I mean, do they really sit here and just take the time out of their day to appear in front of the masses for how long for shekels? Just to what, you know, oh, we got our PSYOP done for the day. Go about your business. Okay, thanks. You've made your appearance here. Here's 800 shekels. Now go about your business over here. Go make your appearance. I mean, it takes a certain type of person to live that kind of lifestyle. So I guess what I'm trying to get at, are they real players or are they full on fucking bred agents? I guess what I'm getting at. Because I'm gonna have to go eventually, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm leaning toward one of the two. Like, I'm just saying it takes a certain type of mindset to want to be in politics. And as someone who was in politics in school and found how fucking dangerous it is when you want to have good ideas to help out your fellow man and you don't go along with the whole fucking Nazi capitalist idea, then, you know, they don't tend to like you so much. So if you don't want to live in the Hunger Games, don't get into politics, basically. So I don't know, you know.
Yeah, like there's a reason why he's smiling like this after the dude just said you don't have sex, because he sold himself as an incel on the internet. So this is literally a LARP that's unfolding. There's no like actual, like he was planted, like he knew that Piers Morgan was gonna say this in advance. That's why he's got that smile on his face.
Yeah, that's a whole on fucking dude. That's a lot. Yeah, I mean, I could do it. The only thing is that, you know, one, you know, whether or not, you know, you do, you know, real life searches on me and figure out who I really am, that shows how much of a person you are. But I mean, I could do it if I didn't have the morals and the ideals and the things that I stand for, whether I'm rich or poor or not. It's very easy to get in front of a camera and lie your ass off and get paid lots of money for it. It's just, you know, if you're given those opportunities or sell your butthole for it, allegedly. Or, you know, you throw little symbols and words out there to try to get their attention, thinking you got a golden ticket waiting for you. And that's what I see every time I see these kind of people. It's no different. Wasn't it Andrew Wilson himself who said that he pales in comparison to certain other people, that even he's technically, like, allegedly, even though he's rich, gets the scraps off of other people because he knows that there are people out there who are much more bigger in the game than him. So I mean, don't sit here and fucking tell me that every single thing that what we review on this stuff isn't a LARP, and that basically if we are not us and we were them, you're in it and you're trying to sell your soul for what you think is a spot in the seat, which is what they tell you and everything anyway. So yeah, everything is a fucking LARP, dude. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's just when I see these kind of people, it's like, you know, I don't want to attack these people personally because I don't want the heat. You know, I don't want to have to put in a GTA cheat code to bring down my notoriety. But you know, it's just, let's just call it what it is. It's a fucking Saturday morning fucking cartoon LARP for the masses who are dumb enough to actually fucking believe anything that comes out of these people's mouths, especially in the name of, oh, it means that it's the best thing for you, or this is how you should think, or this is how you should be, regardless of your race or not. It wouldn't matter whether Andrew Wilson was black or not. You know, still the point is like a majority of people want to live in peace. A majority of people do want to live in harmony. You know, unless you are truly gay and you weren't made that way, or, you know, touched as a kid and made that way, or put up in dresses and, you know, played a maid doctor with 5 sisters, or wear mom's makeup, you know, a majority of people want to find a wife, have kids, have peace and tranquility, and, you know, die peacefully with a bunch of kids around them that they had, you know. So, I mean, you know, it's just, it's funny when you sit here and hear these people making the money that they do, pushing really what in the end, you know, I mean, is it really that much to ask for a black man, a white man to get along? Well, I mean, you know, you have a billion other types of influences. You know, take a white man, a black man, and restart the world and sit there and see that, you know, if there's no alleged, if you want to blame everything on sin, you can't just sit here and tell me how many times have you taken a white kid and a black kid and went and saw them hug each other. Again, we all know that hate can be instilled on you at a young age. So a majority of the hate that I have gotten in my life from different races, it's never really been because I'm truly a white person. It's, if you study it through the lens of schooling, it's from generational trauma. Whether or not it's by white people, it doesn't matter. Still, the point is we're all living in a reality that, like I said, you know, you're a product of it. I've had plenty of black friends who I can tell you, like one of my friends who I just had here recently, I'd known him for going on 17 years, and I'd still die for the dude. Just like I'm sure he would probably die for me if given the chance. You know, he's basically my black brother. I've known him for a very long time. So you can't sit here and tell me that everything's hate. You know, same thing with the women thing. You know, all women are different. You know, not every single woman is going to be the same. Now, whether or not that woman is a product of their reality, well, I can tell you a lot of women, including my sisters, who thought that because of the Disney programming that they were going to grow up and find their fucking Prince Charming, and come to find out that, you know, that's not true. So again, we're all living in some type of like reality of where, look, dude, nothing is going to be perfect. And I mean, again, it comes down to the end goal of what these people goal at the end of the day really is. Is it really money? I mean, are they being successful in like their psyoping, if that's what they're doing? Are they being successful in their rage baiting, their race baiting? When they come and talk to people like TML, I mean, what is it really doing other than it's just to make content out of y'all, to make fun of you, to boost their algorithm? You know, oh, look, I can go and, you know, debate the Muslim and, you know, the weed smoking Muslim, and I win, haha, because he smokes weed. Like, you know, when you just, like, again, there's a reason why I hang out here and don't go hang out at, you know, the Juiceable. So, you know, again, you realize who really is in it for humanity and who really isn't in it for humanity. And it's just, you know, when you see this shit, dude, I guess it doesn't scare me, but it honestly makes me wonder just how big of the scale it really goes to, because there are some people who were in the truther community at the beginning who like the truth for call for an uprising, whatever, you know, these people who started out early in the Facebook, YouTube, early truther drop. And they were people who for the longest time I thought were like real legit truthers, and then like they disappeared. How conveniently, right before, you know, the ghost town of, you know, 2019 or whatever. And, you know, now they're all coming out of the woodwork, and they're all got their platforms back, and they're dropping these different types of truth that other people aren't dropping. And then, you know, you notice, like we said about our channel, is that even my channel, I'm not saying that my channel is being stalked by anyone big, but I can tell you that the general themes of some of the stuff that we have talked about have popped up on End Times Productions, that allegedly like truth dropping Christian network or whatever I think it is. But there's a few other big time channels who I know for a fact that like have literally copied our aesthetics. So, you know, I mean, I guess before I get off of here, I mean, are we feeding into the Ouroboros itself? Is every time that we're exposing something and they reanalyze it, they're just learning how to modify what they're doing to work around it? I mean, that's what I feel like we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, not if we do it good enough.
Uh-oh.
Then they'll have to adjust their narrative to what we're saying, and if that's happening, then they're
every
constantly
time
have to save face.
And every time they do, we'll be able to notice it.
Right, and then and it's also a distraction for them, because if they had to keep up with us, then that means that they're constantly backpedaling, right, or whatever. So that's the thing, is like, yeah.
I guess before I get off here and have to, as they say back in my day, trek through the snow.
Right.
I guess at the end of the day, you know, they play their part. We choose, I guess, our part. I mean, I really wouldn't say I play a part in it, even if you want to say God kind of like, doesn't really give you a choice. But maybe at the end of the day, I mean, we say, does a good man know he's good? But can we at least have an idea of what a good man should be or try to be? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not trying to lose my soul to gain likes and followers. So, I wish y'all the best and everything. And I don't know, maybe maybe here in the next few years, maybe something that we actually have spoken about might create an idea somewhere. I don't know, y'all. It just feels like beating a dead dog at this point. No matter how much we expose these people, it just seems like the masses are like so fucking bariumed or radiumed that they just don't care. I can tell you, I have had a few conversations with people out in just my city. People who I think I can have them conversations with, and it's just like, you go and you have even some of the smallest idea talks about some of the things that we have talked about on here. And a majority of people are just like, who cares if the Anglos are doing this? Who cares if the Jews are doing this? I've actually had 3 people literally say to my face, they don't fucking care if the Jews rule the world. So, I don't know. Maybe as long as we can get a majority of people to come aware of what's really going on and the situations around them and the players who are in it, maybe that's what it means to be a good man. That, what was it? And despite the inevitable outcome, you still persevere. So that's all I can hope for.
Yeah, the greatest jihad is to speak truth in the face of the oppressor.
Ah, shit. Well, I guess I'm brown now. No, I love you, bro. I'm gonna get off here so y'all can finish this. I gotta run to the store and do some shit, but I'll catch up in a little bit.
Yeah, blessings, brother. Yeah,
love y'all. I'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah, talk to you soon, friend.
I mean that. Well, no. It's not the end of it, but I mean, that's the criticism.
That's like a tip. I hate to say it, but that's like a bitchy woman response. Oh, have you ever had sex?
Yeah.
Fucking incel. Durr.
It's like when you tell a woman, "Nah, I don't want to have sex with you," and they're like, "'Cause you're gay." You're like, what? No, I'm not interested in you romantically because you're gay. It's like,
yeah, what are you, gay or something?
What the fuck are you talking about? but yeah, this is that's a pretty common one,
That's the thing, though. You boomers, it's
you think
always
you're an expert in women,
free love.
given you've never got laid.
Yeah, we are going back to the Stone Age. You're absolutely right. This, you're talking.
You do realize that by this logic of this critique, let's say Nick Fuentes gets up tomorrow and he's like, oh, he dials like 1-800 send me a hooker, and they send a hooker over to his house and he bangs her. Can he then go back on Piers Morgan and be like, yeah, I've been laid, and yeah, I still hold all the same exact views? Is that the end of the criticism then?
I mean, that's called adultery. So, yeah, I think that would significantly change the playing field from him being an incel to then him just being a sexual degenerate. I don't think either form is a legitimate stance in critiquing personal relationships. Right? So, I mean, it just bears out that, yes, even if he did that, no, it still wouldn't make his points legitimate. But what's your point? Like, if you have any, other than you're defending this dude's personal sexual or lack of sexual nature, for what reason? While you're watching a tabloid news show by a tabloid news reporter who's pressing this dude on his own personal sexual history. I mean, it couldn't get more crass. None of this has to do with politics or social dynamics, or I mean, this is actually just about whether Nick Fuentes wants to fuck girls or not. Just I would say just a heinous, just waste of time. All right, just a pile of trash. This 14 minutes, literal nonsense.
14 minutes for 14 words. If you know, you know.
Is the criticism now done because Fuentes has experienced the guts of a hooker? Like is now the criticism over with? It's like it's so fucking, that's the worst criticism.
Talking about empathy and your kids are empathetic and they would never laugh at a joke about the Holocaust and you're a misogynist. You're a simp yourself. You're totally henpecked. That's the problem. So
Let me play another clip of yours about women.
A lot of women want to be raped. And when I say raped, I mean like, that sounds bad.
Mr. E, stop. It's very serious.
And when I say it like that, but there's like a lot of women that really want a guy to beat the shit out of them.
I mean, so is he serious or not? Right? I mean, the guy's laughing down there like it's some kind of clown shit. And then he's saying, oh, well, don't laugh. It's not serious. I'm like, what? This is all just a LARP. Like he's literally making he's making shocking statements the way Howard Stern does, or any of these J-ish radio guys do, you know, to get a reaction out of people. You know, like, do most women want to be graped and beaten?
And
I mean, that is literally retarded.
And look, it is shock jock like funny, but it's not delivered in the way that like a fucking Howard Stern would do it on national television. Because this the thing is like, when you're on a platform where you can say anything, there is no such thing as edgy because there's no guidelines other than
right.
Somebody on screen, right? Like if he's on national television and kind of like does a joke that alludes to this and like gets Piers Morgan like in trouble with his advertisers, now that would be edgy. See what I'm saying? Like, but so he's playing that on television. So he's playing this on television, but it's like, okay, so he's already got the network approval of CNN to play this clip on television. Right?
Yeah,
so
now
it's like, so what's exactly going on here then?
Right. And now he's going to say, like, all right, well, Wilson is going to defend Fuentes' statement that most women, you know, they just want to be graped and beaten. This is just according to what exactly? It is really just a weird thing to put out there. And right, like, it's not even, yeah.
There's some truth to it in the sense where, like, are women attracted to, like, men's at least potential for violence? Yes. Does that mean that they want to just get grabbed and, like, raped in an alley? No. So it's like,
yeah, right. Like, it's complete, like, weirdness. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and to say it in that way is to be like, well, it, like you said, I mean, like you and Mr. Lorp was saying, it's like, well, it's like a sick inside joke that no one in the audience is in on, right? And then he's telling a joke, and then he's like, "This is real serious business. Don't laugh." It's like,
right?
What? It's like you said. It's like, okay, so it's really super serious, but obviously Nick Fuentes is laughing his ass off as he says it.
It's 100% LARP. Yeah, it's like 100% LARP. It's crazy.
Yeah, and look, as a stand-up, it's all venue dependent, right? Like if Nick Fuentes went to San Francisco and said this at a stand-up comedy venue, I would have a lot more respect for it, right? But he's saying it on he's saying it on, whatever, like Rumble or whatever platform it's on, and it's like, so he's in his own little insular incel community that, is all about just trying to say the most edgy thing because you can't say that anywhere else, right? And again, it's just weird that the news is now playing this on CNN and like they're allowing it. You know what I'm saying? Like to just allow people, it's just weird. It's like so now they want this to be in the public discussion, right? Like is this
like
things or is it promoting incel behavior, right? Like
so let's just ask the question: is Nick Fuentes allowed on YouTube or not? It seems like he is, just through these back doors, and they'll even promote his content. All right, so I mean, for the people that think he's deplatformed, I mean, that's just a retarded stance, honestly.
Well, that again, that's what's weird is like if you and I put Nick Fuentes on a short in particular, or if we had him on our channel, 50-50 chance at least that it could get struck at any time between now and in the future, right? But a lot of people have him on like their official podcast with hundreds of thousands of views and no problem, right? So is it like the amount of revenue that's generated that's the difference, or what's the criteria here, right? See, and again, none of that's discussed about like, isn't it interesting that they allow this guy to be on the news? Like there's another guy named Christopher Cantwell. They called him a neo-Nazi after his Vice News piece, put him in prison for some trumped up charges, right? They're not going to let him come on CNN and say his belief system, right? But they will allow Nick Fuentes. So it's like, okay, so they're obviously not rolling out a red carpet like, okay, anybody who dissents, let's shame you publicly, right? You see what I mean? It's like they're not letting just anybody come up and like spew their hatred, quote unquote, to be shamed publicly, right? Like it's a promotion one way or the other, right? Like they want you to focus on Nick Fuentes in particular. And why? Because if they ever did find out he was gay, for example, now you're a gay Nazi pedophile if you hold these beliefs. See what I mean? Like, is that the goal of what's going on here? See what I mean? Like to tie you to the man and then sacrifice the man and then all your belief systems go with them. Like it is very much like the whole Hitler thing, right? Like it's almost 100 years straight of like, well, Hitler believed that, so that means you're a gay Nazi, whatever, it's like, or whatever. It's like, so it's like, it's just this whole like voodoo doll thing of like focus all your attention on the voodoo doll, and then the voodoo doll is destroyed, and then it destroys the beliefs and everything inside it. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of that's just my feeling about what's being done here. I mean, I don't know exactly what's going on, but it just seems very scapegoaty, very Jewish in a way.
Right.
But also they have to pretend, but part of it is they have to pretend like they don't.
So this is all about like women want to get raped and beaten. He actually claimed that most women want this, right? It's not because you can protect them that they're attracted to the fact that you're a protector. No. Is that they have secret fantasies a la the Fandom and like whatever novels or whatever, right?
Well, here's the funny part, because if that's true, then all their arguments about how Islam is this and Islam is that, I mean, doesn't that effectively like mean that they have no argument against all that? Right? Like, okay, women like rapists, therefore Muslims are rape, whatever they say about, you know what I mean? So it's like, so now they're like in saying, well, like, and then they say, well, you shouldn't simp to a woman by raping her. See what I mean? So like, you see all the implications that are wrapped up in it. You see what I mean? It's like, there's so many things that are tied to this one argument that they would make. And I haven't heard them say that, when they say it, like, I'm just saying, like, if you were to make that argument that all women want to be raped, then all the things that you said previously now come back into a different light because of you saying this now currently, right? So like when they go in and say, oh, well, Muslims, they try to control female sexuality and because they're super paranoid or
right.
You know what I mean? So it's like all these other things they said now come into a new light because they're like, well, women actually like to be raped and controlled and all, so it's like, okay, so
yeah, and he's actually gonna say that it's a la these femdom and you know, like where the female gets like groomed by like the dude or like 50 Shades of Grey, that's his justification for it. I mean, it's like not the fact that we're living in a totally cucked and depraved culture, right?
Well, what's weird is he says that females are totally dependent on men, but and because we allow it, but then he's like also like, well, men are so weak they've allowed themselves to get in this position. So it's like, well, isn't that a contradiction in your analysis there? It's like, so
right.
It's like, so we are in. It's kind of like the whole Anglo versus Jews thing. It's like Anglos are so in control that they're like destroying themselves. It's like, well,
right.
It's like, okay, like, like I guess. I mean, you can make that argument, but it's like that doesn't seem to really make sense because at the very least, you'd have to say that they don't have self-control, which would also mean they couldn't really control other people because it's kind of hard to control somebody else if you can't control yourself, at least to some degree, right? So it's like, you know, there's not a lot of like suicidal people. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that. There's not a lot of self-deleting people that are like running around like mind controlling people in general, right? Like, I mean, they may be used as a proxy, right? But they're certainly not like out there like actively, consciously, of their own volition, like, you know, mind controlling people, because generally people who are in that state of mind, like they don't have a lot of self-control, right? I mean, you know, it's usually not like you just wake up one day and feel a certain way. You know, like it's kind of like a certain, you know, like progressive thing that seems to happen. I mean, as far as I can tell, at least. So it's just a very strange, like, again, like it's not, you can't take anything that they're saying in like a vacuum, right? Like you have to think of all the other things that they've said and then put that into context with what they're now currently saying, right? So it's a very strange, and like you said, like, you know, Fuentes allegedly, you know, threatened Wilson, and now Wilson's like over here, like staunchly defending Fuentes like he's his best friend or something. So it's like, I don't understand that. You know, like pretty much if somebody were to ever threaten me, like I may like reconcile with them, but I'm certainly not going to be like, now I really need to go and defend this person at all costs. You know, like my life depends on it or something. It's like, that seems kind of a weird, you know, situation, you know, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and it's like if you don't care what people say and you don't care that Nick Fuentes is saying this, then why are you going to take the video down? Why don't you just leave your videos up? Because you know damn well you're afraid what people are going to think because you get paid to represent certain groups of people, and they're not going to allow you to get paid if you don't follow the party line. So this is the thing, is like you're afraid. You're totally cucked to the system. That's why you can't leave the video up where you quote unquote say whatever you want to say, and not just for donos. Yeah, right. These people actually never speak their true mind.
Well, I'm sure he'll say that it's because he's afraid that YouTube will strike him and he'll lose all his shekels or something. I mean,
right.
But that's the thing, is like then you don't truly actually believe what you're saying.
Right. It's the same thing with like TBE or somebody like, or Cockboy Hotline. It's like you guys really believe this shit, but you're gonna take down the video every time it gets too hot. You know, there's too many people that may report it. Like, this is the thing, is like you don't really mean what you say. And like, this is the thing. I mean, right? It's like I have plenty of things to talk about without like, you know, getting fucked over by the censorship and stuff. I can phrase the shit I want to say like in a bunch of ways, but these guys say shit and then take it down and then change their views later. Weird. Totally dishonest.
Reminds me of a joke, Andrew. You want to hear it? No? Yeah, you do. All right, so
shut up.
I mean, want to be right, D.
That's what the studies show, Piers. That is what these statistics say.
But that's what you believe,
They
is
have
it?
fantasies. They have fantasies about it. I don't think that they want to actually get raped, but there's a study out there. Get ready for this. it says 62% of women have rape fantasies. And if you read any
Pretty
So he just did a 180. He said that most of them want to be raped, and then when he got on Piers Morgan, he slid back and said, no, actually not. I don't think that's most of them that's true. So he literally just did a 180. So either he said that exactly how I was saying for shock value and didn't believe it, or what's going on here.
confident that him and Steven Crowder were just discussing this, and Crowder actually told him that. I'm pretty confident Crowder actually cited that exact statistic to him. It's one of the things that we went over is the what are called the Harlequin romance novels, right? And the smut peddling, that this is basically porn for women, right? Is the Harlequin romance novels. And inside of those types of romance novels, guess what a big theme is?
But wait, he just said it's smut peddling. So is it smut peddling, or is it based on factual reality? You know, like he's sort of drawing a weird line here, right? He's saying like, well, the smut peddling that's promoted in these sexual novels points to a reality about the nature of women. But it's like, clearly, if it's smut peddling, it's there to subvert the nature of women. So it's like, which one is it?
Well, I'm sure you'll never guess what the biggest theme is inside of it is what's called gradual submission, right? Which ties into these our fantasies essentially, and that's what his essential position is. Well, I don't know why Mystery is laughing. It's no fucking laughing matter. Piers being a real good Catholic, telling people they're losers to wait till marriage. Yeah, true.
anything that they're reading, if you watched what they're watching, what do you think 50 Shades of Grey is about? What do you think Twilight is about? I mean, that's just true.
But just stop for 1
You
second.
think women want to have the shit beaten?
So the other side of it is also like, okay, so like women and men aren't allowed to like fantasize now. So it's like, okay, now they're the fucking thought police in like 1984. Like now we have to get in the women's head and like decide what they are and are not allowed to like, fantasize about and stuff. It's like, okay, so I mean, it's like, look, and again, the thing is like, you know, it's like you're saying, it's like it's trying to like I'm trying to think of the right word. It's taking advantage of like the good parts of women's nature, like a tribal thing, or like a proponents to like men who are capable of violence, or which again, these are all things that God made them to be to some degree, right? Like again, I'm not saying that like God made them to like love that certain aspect, but it's like the reality is like men and women do have different roles, and it's like so there it's just an odd thing to say like, well, women aren't allowed to like fantasize this or that, and it's like even it's almost like I'm not going to say the word I want to say, but me and Philly are talking about it. It's like a moral homosexuality where it's like, I'm going to clutch my pearls over the fact that women like this, and it's just really bad and evil that women have this particular type of sexual desire, or at the very least, it's just trying to say, it's just really kind of like denying female sexuality, which ultimately is like, well, you admit that there's a deficiency in male virility, sexuality, all these things. So it's like, wouldn't it be natural that in an absence of male common traits that should be there, right? Like intelligence, humor, violence, that women would compensate by doing a more extreme fantasy about having those things because of how inaccessible they are. And also, if you really want to get super meta about it, like, wouldn't it be part of the social engineering plan to provide a steam vent for these women to feel heard in the same way that like porn is done for men, in a way to maintain the status quo by making people feel heard, very much like how Nick Fuentes says all the edgy things that a lot of men think in their private, and then say, look, he's allowed to say it on the news. Therefore, there's a cultural war, and therefore you don't need to go and run for office. You don't need to go and get a wife. You don't need to go and do all these things because we got this handled, right? we're out here for you on the court, in the court of public opinion. You see what I'm saying? And again, that goes for the sexuality, that goes for any of the stuff. And again, you know, that maybe that's a little bit too sophisticated for YouTube, but I do think that that's really what's, you know, this is why they have to give this like such credence, right? Like it looks like it's a bunch of nonsense, but it's nonsense with a very direct purpose, in my opinion, right? You know, and you know, I don't want to call Andrew Wilson dumb, you know, so either one, he's dumb, or two, he knows that he's playing that role and he's fine with it, right? Because again, if he really truly believed in all this, like he would be doing like triage to say like, maybe we shouldn't be going around calling all, you know, all women dumb bitches and snarky little sharky, you know, hen pecking, whatever, and ugly. And I mean, you know what I mean? Like, again, like, because you're on a public platform, it's like, you're not in a men's only space on YouTube, right? Clearly there's going to be women coming in. So like, maybe you want to lead by example. Like, this is how you speak to women. This is how you act in public. Now, and he's like, you know, if he had like a little like OnlyFans account where he's like, only men are allowed to apply and get into my OnlyFans, and then I'll tell you what I really think behind the scenes or whatever, that would make a little bit more sense to what he's doing, right? You see what I'm saying? And again, like we were on the inside of that like Discord where it was almost entirely men, right? And we did have more frank conversations a lot. And again, that's why like I know that these people are capable of doing it, right? Like these people are capable of like, okay, I'm gonna have my like co-ed, you know, war face on YouTube, and then in private I'll give you a little bit more of like how I'm looking at the world, because we're all men and we can all see things a certain way or whatever, right? But see, that's the thing, is like, it's just like the lack of like leadership is really what I see as like the big problem. Is like it's like when Nick Fuentes saying all that like in private, like, well, I was being hyperbolic because it's just all a bunch of men in private. It's like, yeah, that may be true, but also at the same time, like, if you save that for like a venue like Piers Morgan and then just said something outrageous to like get attention, right, that would make more sense. Whereas if you're in private, you would think that you would be more responsible with your words, because you want people to actually like pay very close attention to like what you're actually trying to get across, right? And again, like, I'm not trying to like police him or something. I'm just saying, like, you know, if your list of priorities were kind of like maybe a little bit more like what you say they should be, right, that you might look at it a little bit differently, right? So I don't know, that's just my opinion, right? So like, again, if this is just all supposed to be entertainment, that's one thing. But if you actually do care about other men and them having like success, or, you know, getting Christianity to like actually be taken seriously, you know, maybe that would be an important part of the thing. Because if you say all this and then the guy goes out and tries to get a girlfriend or a wife and he says, I think all women should get raped, it's like, well, you know, some women have a sense of humor, they might be able to roll with it, but a lot of like healthy people are not going to like roll with that sense of humor. You see what I mean? Like, I would say at best you're going to have a 50-50 shot. So you're already halving the chances if somebody were to let something like that slip on a date or something, for example, right? You know, so I don't know. That's just kind of the way I'm looking at it. But, you know, I'm trying to like actually critique these guys in a positive way too. But it's like, you know, I'm sure that they'll just see this as like, oh, you guys are just hating on us and you're jealous or whatever. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like, maybe you guys should like really take more responsibility for like where you're actually at. Like, if you supposedly have millions of people following you, maybe you should take it a little bit more seriously than you are. You know, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's like rage bait and then take the video down. It's like the same old tactic. It's trash. Don't stand on anything.
Out in them, as you said.
Yeah, and it's very disturbing, but it's true.
Do you think you'll view?
Women have different viewpoints on the way that they have sexual fantasies than the way that men have sexual fantasies. That's I mean, I don't even know how you get past that as being a true statement. It's uncomfortable to discuss.
That may be true, but that doesn't mean that most women want to get raped, as he said previously, and then he said later that he takes that back and he doesn't believe that about all women. So which version of Nick Fuentes are you agreeing or disagreeing with by saying that women have different sexual fantasies than men? Because that doesn't even purport to his statement whatsoever. You know?
And it's uncomfortable to talk about. I get that. But if you look at the type of pornographic material that they consume, you start to find this trend inside of that material, especially in the smut books. They read a lot of smut books, right? Men, it's true, we're more visual. So when we want our smut, we want to see them tig old biddies right on the porn box immediately beaming into our fucking eyeballs, right? That's the way that men do it. Women, not so much. They're looking for a kind of a big overarching fantasy-like experience. And inside of that fantasy-like experience, there's the idea of kind of the rough bad boy who comes in and makes them gradually submit, and they have all sorts of bizarre fantasies around it. Also, centaurs are often involved in it.
What? This is bizarre. Now there's bestiality and shit involved. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? I don't know any normal women. Is this how his wife gets off? This is really strange. This is fucking really weird, creepy shit. Centaurs are involved? Like, this sounds like the weirdest Diddy party I've ever heard. Yeah, you got like submission and bestiality and okay, like where are you going with this, dude?
Well, and here's the thing: is like, is that a joke or is that Timothy Morton who donated $500 and said you need to get in a little bestiality into this thing, object ontology, or whatever, right? See what I mean? Like, see, this is the thing: is like, how much of a quote unquote joke is this versus like an actual set of talking points that relates back to bioethics or something like that, right? I mean, allegedly one of his mentors, had a mentor that was into bioethics. So I'm just saying, like, it's not outside the realm of possibility that there's some bioethicists, like military psyopers in the audience who are donating, saying, make sure you sneak in a little centaur love into your argument here. We need to make sure that people are changing their beliefs about bestiality here. I mean, that sounds insane, but if you know.
Yeah, it's just I find this, line of commentary to be extremely bizarre, extremely crass. I don't really, and partly like pretty much overtly homosexually aggressive and in lots of ways, and it's pretty interesting.
Fucking weird shit. Okay, it's weird stuff.
Hey, are you kink shaming right now, Andrew?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we know why you women pick the bear. Just saying, we've read the books.
We've read the books. Okay.
We know why you pick the bear. You disgusting, dirty devil women.
Views on women might change if you actually ever had a relationship with one or had sex and actually had a proper relationship. I mean, people say,
well, I'm trying for a new baby every night. My views haven't changed a bit. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Calm down. That was a joke, okay? That was me funning. Relax. Okay,
Jokey
relax. Jokey man bad.
Jokey
Relax.
man bad.
All right, but the thing is like no, I don't think that they would. Women 99% of the time, yeah, it's bad. Also, women during intimacy. Okay, now hit me with it's fucking weird, dude. Weird.
the reason you're so angry about women is you're basically an incel.
I'm not angry about it.
You sound very angry. You sound very, very angry about women.
I'm passionate. It's an issue I'm passionate about.
You're sounding very bitter about women, as if women have done a terrible disservice to you. But when? You don't have relationships, you don't have sex. When are they doing these terrible things to you that's made you so hateful towards women? I'm really curious.
So, I mean, what do you think, Mr. E? It's like, so what should he do? Should Nick just go back in the studio, in like 3 weeks and be like, I just flopped my dick right in this chick's mouth, you know what I mean? Just get super graphic and be like, and I had my way with her and it was great. And she left totally satisfied. And I still have the same fucking views about women. Now what, Pierce?
I mean, that's what I do.
Now what, Pierce?
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, I bent that bitch over. Now what, Pierce? I think the same thing I thought before, Pierce.
Damn, bro.
That would be so fucking funny, though, dude. It would be. Like, ironically, that would be the most hilarious thing in the world. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I banged the crap out of her, threw her out the next morning after she made me an omelet. And I told her to go fly a fucking kite. Never picked her up.
Yeah, I'm a complete Catholic sexual degenerate, and I just got my rocks off doing some degenerate shit. And yeah, what if he did that? I mean, ask yourself, Andrew, what if he bent that bitch over and all that stuff and became a Catholic influencer online? What would happen? I mean, what a fucking retard, dude. Like, no wonder they don't leave this trash up. Like, this is literally nonsense. Crass grape jokes. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Phone again. And I still think the same
This is honestly like
thing.
This is like watching Toilet Bowl Earth show, honestly, where he's talking about graping people. And honestly, this is what is crazy, man.
Years. I would fucking be dying.
Well, to be honest, Toilet Bowl Earth is actually much funnier than this, to be honest. So
He is, right? So this is what's weird about this. It's like they're not even being funny while making their fucking jokes. Like, it's weird. It's just creepy old dude, weird, like, stuff. And then what Nick Fuentes said is just really just strange.
Was that? I don't think that was a hateful clip. I think I was laughing. I said they want men to beat the shit out of them, and that's just true. I mean, when you look at the state of modern women, all they do is lay in their bed, doom scroll. They're chilling out. They're getting a little fat. It is what it is. I don't know what the average weight is, but they're getting a little heavy. And any guy that is playing the field these days will tell you that. I mean, and I know a lot of the Chads. I am an incel. I'm friends with a lot of Chads like Bradley Martin, Clavicular. They agree with me. You know, there's sort of like this alliance between the guys that don't have sex and the guys that get the most sex. We know what women are about. It's the guys in the middle. Guys like you in the middle. It's the beta male orbiters that say, she's amazing. You're a misogynistic pig. Because I don't know what that is. I guess.
Well, come on. Let me explain to you what I think it is.
I think that was fair. Granted that he just took a dig at his like sexual like lack of sex or whatever. Called him an incel like 90 times. He's like, well, maybe you're just a mid-level weirdo, like, you know, like like I forget what Pinoid was calling them. It's like beta males who simp for chicks that like sneak something. I don't know. I forget what he was saying, but
when a 27-year-old guy who's never got laid, never had a meaningful relationship with a woman, says that women shouldn't be allowed to vote, they should stay at home, that all they do is fantasize about being raped and being beaten up, that's what they want, that they're annoying, that they get fat, that they get ugly. That's a misogynist. Now, you may not understand.
I mean, you know what's ironic here? Is that there's got to be, I don't know how many millions of people are going to see this, but I already know in my head how this is going to go for most men out there. They're going to be driving down the road, right? A lot of them are going to be listening to this at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Like a long haul trucker. He's going to be listening to this exchange. And this guy is going to be fucking swerving all over the road. I mean, Piers Morgan made the roads dangerous for a couple of days because they're just going to be laughing their fucking asses off. They're going to be driving down the road. They're going to be swerving. They're going to be laughing their fucking asses off. And you're saying that women could be fat and annoying and this and that. And he's like, yeah, I do think so. And they're going to be like, they're going to be, these guys are not going to be able to stay on the road. Their headlight beams are going to be moving back and forth, right? This could actually kill people, to be perfectly honest with you. This could actually get people in horrific car accidents. Because the fact of the matter is that these guys are going to be laughing hysterically. And maybe that was enough.
Yeah, I'm laughing hysterically because pretty soon he'll be doing bits with Sam Tripoli. This is insane. He's like, this is actually the worst Like, it's like the worst, like, comedy, like, I've ever fucking seen. I just don't know, like, what is, like, this is drier than anything. Like, this is crazy. Like, honestly, rather watch Modern Men Lost Again than this. This is really not engaging.
Unintended side effect of this. Just saying.
Well, and I'll just say one more thing is they're not reinvesting in their business. Like, if they want to actually do this, what they should do is hire an actual professional comedian. I heard Owen Benjamin is available for a small fee, and he'll write the script for you, and then it'll actually be funny, and then I think that would be better.
Yeah, because like the truckers that are hearing this by Nick Fuentes, that people want to get graped and all this type of stuff. Yeah, they're just swerving on the road. Like, what? Oh yeah, because of the romance novels. That proves it. Huh? What?
Tree.
I'm just sighing audibly over here. I wish you would have let me say my joke earlier. I'm a little disappointed, to be honest.
Because your knowledge of women is so incredibly tiny, but actually you are the embodiment of a misogynist. It couldn't be clearer. And if I was in a way, you have to.
It's an inherent retardery in what the Piers Morgan guy is saying, because how can you be an incel and a misogynist? You're not actually treating women bad, like just by saying a bunch of stuff. Like, I was like, what? Like his stance is retarded.
Not misogynistic enough.
Deep-rooted misogyny of some of the actual boomers I know. Yeah, here you are, 27 years old, and most of the current studies show that a lot of men are really disenfranchised from society, no longer have physical relationships with women if they've ever had them, never associate with women, and build up instinctively misogynist views about women. And I fear you're in that position. You're just a bit of a lonely guy who wants to get laid and can't for whatever reason.
Wow, like there's no way this dude actually believes that shit. Like, he's had him on his show. Like, there's no way this dude thinks he's making the points he makes, that women want to be raped, and saying that because he's a lonely guy. There's just no way possible he actually believes that. You know, like, he's literally a celebrity that's on your show. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's no possible way that Piers Morgan believes what he just said out of his fucking mouth. Like, this is 100% LARP. There's no, like, this is acting. Like, there's no way, like, what? It's, like, absurd. Like, I might as well turn on Jerry Seinfeld or Friends at this point. Because this is, like, really just...
I don't think that if Nick wanted to go get laid, that he couldn't go get laid. It's not a great criticism. Haven't laughed this much in a while. Okay, I mean, that's objectively funny. I don't know what to tell you. It's funny.
What? None of that was funny. What is that dude laughing at? Oh my God. I think these people are actually retarded. Man, I think his fans are actually retarded.
It is. That's actually fucking funny. He's like, yeah, they get fat, they're annoying. It's like when Pearl Davis used to do that bit. It was fucking funny.
No, there's nothing funny about Pearl Davis. Stop, man. Pearl Davis is funny? Oh my God. Like, you know what's funny? Mitch Hedberg. Pearl Davis is not funny, man. Like, what?
Owen Benjamin is funny. Okay, come on.
Right. He is. I mean, he is. I mean, he's funnier than this. I mean, this is trash.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and even this, like, Nick Fuentes can be funny. I mean, but he's gotten progressively a lot less funny in the last year for sure. Like, you know, I think, you know, whatever trip he's on trying to, like, get famous on mainstream media, like, his edge is kind of gone. I mean, it's not totally gone, but the thing that made him notable, because again, I've never really liked Fuentes, but I did have to give him credit. Like, he was saying some like outrageous, like comedic things, very similar to like a Owen Benjamin or someone like that. But like now, it's like even that's gone. And frankly, like Andrew Wilson used to be a lot more interesting to listen to. Like when I first started listening to Andrew Wilson, he was like pretty engaging to listen to. So like this is not like just he's always been shitty. Like he was interesting to listen to, right? So I don't know. It's like it's just kind of weird. It's like maybe if you just do this every single day, you know, professionally for like millions of dollars, it makes you less funny. I don't know, but it's like it's just kind of, or maybe when you have a
Yeah.
gun to your head to like.
Yeah, he used to be funny. Like he had like I remember like when Posh and Adam Green were debating, and then somebody asked a question about like Thor or somebody, like it was either Thor or Odin cross dressing. And he's like, all right, this is the end of the Odin cross dressing arc on the Crucible. And I thought he was pretty funny, like with the quips and like, you know, but like honestly, like this character that he's playing, I mean, or whatever. I mean, you know, yeah, I don't know. It's literally no different than the people that are on the screen. You know, it's like 100% fake personality, shock value, commentary, halfway comedic goy slop.
Funny, okay? It was funny. Let's do it. Like, yeah, but those bitches are annoying, and I'd be like drinking coffee and spit some out because it was funny. As if having what does that say? As if having stuff is going to give him, or yeah, having, okay, gotcha. Having some pussy is going to give him some higher insight into women. What a simp viewpoint's true. You don't. Here's the thing. It's funny. It's like you don't have sex, and then suddenly you understand the psychology of women better. That's not how that works. Okay. Like, let's be honest with here in the chat. Let's just be honest. How many of you in high school were having sex? Put a 1 in the chat. If you're in high school, you're a dude, right? I already assume all the women are going to put 1. But if you're a dude, you're in high school, you're having sex, just put a 1 in the chat. And I better see nothing but 1s because I know better. I know all of you were banging chicks when you were
right, because you could really take their word from it from the ones in the chat. What? And what does that even prove? Right, that most of your audience is like former degenerates, which he's, by the way, said a bunch of times. He's touted that as a bragging point. But I don't think being a former degenerate means you've like accepted Jesus more into your heart. There's plenty of people who accepted Jesus into their heart and became Orthodox Christians or whatever have you, right, that were actually not degenerates. And I think that their viewpoint is more valid, if not, than the people that were former degenerates. You know, like back in the day, if you committed a bunch of degeneracy, your reputation would go down. So why isn't he holding his same audience to this, like his audience to the same standard? They should be shamed for their sexual degeneracy if he's trying to preserve that in society. Oh no, but he's asking them to tout their sexual escapades in the chat by putting a 1, by showing how degenerate they were in high school. And he's saying almost all of them are putting 1s because they banged so many chicks in high school. Disgusting.
in high school. I know it. 100% know that that's the case, right? All of you were banging.
And this is the double standard, right? Like if men have the body count, then women have the body count or whatever. I mean, right? I mean, you know, honestly, it should work both ways, right? Because who are these dudes banging, if not chicks, that now have a high body count that got banged in high school by degenerate guys who are now Christians? Like what? And nobody wants to be with those girls. Oh, what a surprise. Stupidity unleashed.
All of you. Let's see it. Let's see it. Don't fucking bullshit me. Don't, yeah, there we go. Don't you fucking bullshit me. There we go. Uh-huh. Look at all them 1s. It's a fucking sea of 1s. Yep. Sea of 1s. All of you fuckers. All you fuckers. Just a contrarian too. That guy probably banged the most chicks in high school. The ones who put the 2s in there, they probably banged the most amount. But anyway, the point is here, now that we've established that this is the case, right? It did not give you any additional insights into women. It really doesn't give you these like great detailed insights into like how a woman's mind works. It only gives you insights into, well, that shit feels good. That's about it.
And it's made you bitter about women. And I don't know where that's come from, but it's fascinating.
No, see, here's the thing. First of all, you're very caught up in the labels. It's always, you're a racist, you're a misogynist.
You said you were a racist.
Nothing to me. Oh,
you gave yourself,
can I respond?
You gave yourself the label.
What is this?
You said, I am a racist. I didn't give you the label.
Okay.
You said, Nick Fuentes, I am a racist.
Calm down. Calm down.
Did you or didn't you?
It's okay.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
so
here's
I didn't give you the label. You did.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because you're trying to infer something that didn't happen. You said, I gave you the label of being a racist. No, you did. You said, I'm a racist. You gave yourself the label.
You're going to have to tone it down a little, all right? You're going to have to bring it down a notch and relax. This is just an interview, okay? Please calm down. All I said is you're hung up. I didn't say you gave me that. Maybe I did.
You did.
But here's what I mean. What I mean is you're just hung up on proving you're a misogynist. Okay, you're a racist. Okay, you denied the Holocaust. And I'm not about the labels,
you
man.
Deny
I'm
the
just
Holocaust.
past that.
As I said to you, look, Nick,
He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care.
Well, boo fucking who, dude? You guys take a position that's radical and then say you don't want to be blamed for being political radicals or whatever. You call yourself Big Papa Fascist, then you say, oh, you go cry on Piers Morgan, oh, people are calling us fascists and shooting us. It's all crazy talk. It's all fucking crazy talk. You want to both radicalize people but not be seen as a radical when you go out in public, when people deny you loans and shit. Oh, you don't want to be involved in that. It's like you don't want to stand by the shit you actually believe in, man. Just say it. And that's why you're an entertainer. You know, you're a fed entertainer. It's almost a new category. It's like, you know, honestly, like there's dozens of these guys that they literally cuck to the system in order to get paid more.
Idea that you're just going to say, oh, you're a this, and then be morally outraged is not a thing that Fuentes cares about. He doesn't give a shit. Okay? That's it. He doesn't care.
Then why is he...
I have to disagree.
Why is he throwing up his hands?
I have to disagree. Did it in high school, and it made me realize I was right the whole time. Man, this guy is like, I fucking hated women, and then I started having sex with them, and I hated them more.
All right, well, that was a travesty, honestly. Just total garbage. I think this will be a good recording, you know, to play later, honestly. We get people involved in this shit. This commentary here. I gotta, like, go before my show or whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sorry, I had my hands full with some stuff, and yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, the thing is, it's like feels like we're trying to squeeze blood from a stone sometimes because, like, you know,
nothing there. Yeah.
Well, there is something there, but it's like it's just so I don't know, man. It's like it's just such a disappointment. Like, you know,
right.
I just feel like with the amount of money involved with all these people, it's like I just feel like they should be able to put on a better show. Like, you know,
yeah, like
something more. You know, I just want more than like this. Like it's like because the ideas they're talking about are actually really important. It's just such a disappointment that it's not more engaging ultimately, because like it's like they almost look bored of doing the thing that they're paid to do. And like I think that might be more sad than their actual beliefs. To be honest with you, like
la 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 la.
Exactly.
Pooh.
Yes, reprehensible.
But yeah, when you go live 1 hour. Or right now?
No, it's in 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go and eat and make some coffee and stuff. So yeah. So I gotta. Yeah.
I gotta run some errands myself. So Zeke Hell and
Yeah, blessings.
Yeah, send me the link and stuff. I'll be busy on
For sure.
but I'll be around later.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
All right, cool. Bye.
Yeah, peace.